Broadcasting around the nation, on your radio, on your TV, and online. This is The Bill Press Show.
Hey, friends and neighbors, what do you say? Good morning. Great to see you this morning. This is The Bill Press Show. We're coming to you live from our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., bringing you up to date on all the news of the day, whether it's happening here in our nation's capital, around the country, around the globe. Coming to you live on your local progressive talk radio station, on Free Speech TV, and worldwide on our video stream, TawkrTV. Events in the nation's capital. Hi, everybody. It's Bill Press. This year marks the 10th anniversary of doing the Bill Press Show every day, covering the news of the day with the nation's top newsmakers, either on the line or in our studio right here on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. Not only that, I go to the White House briefings every day to get answers to the top questions of the day. Bottom line, if it's happening in Washington, D.C., either at the White House or the Capitol, we are all over it. Every day, we welcome to our studio political leaders and reporters and labor leaders and newsmakers to help us understand the issues of the day. You know, we started out as a radio show only, but over the years, we have branched out to all forms of the new media. So today, we're not just a radio show. We are podcasting, streaming audio, streaming video, and we are simulcast live on Free Speech TV nationwide, reaching out to 40 million households on Free Speech TV, in addition to hundreds of thousands on local radio stations and online.
AFGE is so proud to be associated with this show and looks forward to being working with Bill and this show for a long time.
Bill Press is the right man at the right time with the right message.
And thanks to the Bill Press Show, we get our message out to thousands and thousands of people every day. Thank you, Bill Press.
The Teamsters are a proud partner with Bill Press on his show, telling the truth about what's going on with working families. Tune in.
Yes, it's been a fun and exciting 10 years so far for the Bill Press Show. We're looking forward to many more with all of you, broadcasting live every morning from the nation's capital.
On your radio, on TV, and online. This is The Bill Press Show.
A few years ago, plastic bag waste in our city came to a tipping point. It was clear we had a bag problem. My department was tasked to reduce plastic bag consumption. We needed to come up with ways to change human behavior. So we asked ourselves,
would you like it back?
What do people really hate?
Yep.
Getting punched in the stomach. Preliminary studies showed that the consequences weren't severe enough to warrant behavioral change.
Actually, can I get that double bagged?
So we thought, what do people hate more than getting punched in the stomach? Kissing Helga.
Hey, big boy.
People didn't find her so offensive after all, so we had to get creative.
How many bags? Okay, now, pour this ice water down your pants.
We tried everything.
Eat this rat. Defuse this bomb.
Even fighting your clone. After blowing through millions of dollars of government funds on research, I came up with a brilliant idea.
Why don't we just charge 5 cents per bag?
That's a stupid idea.
Would you like it back?
Yes.
5 cents a bag.
5 cents? 5 cents? Do I still have the option of getting punched?
Honestly, I don't know how everyone else missed it.
Why don't you just get a reusable bag?
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. At highway speeds, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Stop the texts, stop the wrecks.
All right, friends, here we are. We have just about reached the end of the road for this winter pledge drive, but you still got just one more chance to get your help in for Free Speech TV and to take advantage of that opportunity to get a big tax deduction here at the end of the year. And as we wind things up, really two big points to make. Number one is for those of you who have responded so generously, we just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. We haven't reached our goal yet, but we're getting very, very close. And we could only get there because of so many of you that came through with pledges from $5 all the way up to $1,000. I just got to tell you, it really does mean a lot to all of us to know that you value free speech as much as you do, that you appreciate our work, and you want to keep this great, unique, one progressive television channel in the entire nation going. And we wouldn't be able to do it again without your help because, as you know, no government help, no corporate help, no Koch brothers help, no Warren Buffett help. It's all you that are the heart and soul of Free Speech TV. That's point number one. Point number two, if you haven't made your pledge yet, come on, don't be a freeloader. Get on board. Join the team at whatever level that you can and make your pledge today to Free Speech TV to keep us going. You know how to do it. Just pick up the phone and call 877-378-8669 and make your pledge, or make your pledge online at freespeech.org. And coming out to you for your help, if you can help us with just $30, we'll send you a Bill Press Eco Journal and a pen set to go along with it. If you help us with $5 a month, a pledge of $5 a month, $60 a year, the Free Speech TV calendar, like this one with photos of all your favorite television hosts from Free Speech TV. For $120, $10 a month, 4 Bill Press Show pint glasses. $240, $20 a month, you get the calendar. 2 of those pint glasses, a contribution made to the Women's Bean Project, and from the Women's Bean Project, a little bundle of a cornbread and a can of soup for you. $360, a beautiful hand-woven cow-press scarf like this one I am wearing today, like the one you see on your screen. Each of them a work of art, and if you have one for yourself, you will be not only warm, but very proud to wear it. And finally, for those of you fortunate enough and lucky enough to be able to afford it, for $1,000, you get yourself to Washington, come spend a few days in Washington. Carol and I will take you out to dinner, one of our great restaurants on the Hill, and then we'll invite you in the next morning to meet our entire team here at the Bill Press Show. Again, last chance. Make sure you are on board. Thank you if you already are, and if you haven't, now's the time to do it right now during the Bill Press Show at 877-378-8669 or go to freespeech.org. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, and thank you.
A single ember that escapes from a wildfire can travel more than a mile. That single ember can ignite and destroy your home or even your community. You can't control where that ember will land, only what happens when it does. Get Fire Adapted now at fireadapted.org.
Columbine,
Virginia Tech,
Tucson,
Aurora,
Fort Hood, Oak Creek,
Newtown.
Newtown,
Newtown.
Newtown.
How many more?
How many more? How many more colleges? How many more classrooms?
How many more movie theaters?
How many more houses of faith?
How many more shopping malls?
How many more street corners?
How many more?
How many more?
Enough.
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 Demand a plan.
Right now. As a mom.
As a dad. As a friend. As a husband.
As a wife.
As an American.
As an American.
As an American.
As a human being.
For the children of Sandy Hook.
Demand a plan. No more lists of names. It's not too soon.
It's too late.
Now is the time. before we all know someone who loved someone on that list.
No more lists.
No more.
Who they might have been. No more.
If we had just done something yesterday. It's time.
We can do better than this.
We can do better than this.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time for our leaders to act.
Demand a plan. Right now.
Right now.
You! Demand it!
Enough.
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 Your radio, on your TV, and online. This is the Bill Press Show.
The Fed raises the rates just a little bit. Don't fret, that's a sign that the economy is doing a hell of a lot better. What do you say? Hello, everybody. Here we are. Great to see you on a Thursday, December 17. That means 7 shopping days left. That means Christmas just 8 days away. Can you believe it? Good to see you here on the radio this morning. Good to see you on television. Good to have you with us for the Bill Press Show the next 3 hours, where we bring you the news of the day and some great guests to help us understand it all. And we open up the phones, open up the social media to hear from you and what you think about it all. How about it? That's our partnership. We got a good thing going here. Let's keep it going on the Bill Press Show. Coast to coast, we're there with you on your local progressive talk radio station and on those 2 great radio apps, iHeartRadio and TuneIn. We always tell you about them because, some places you go and you might lose a signal or there may not be a progressive talk radio station. Well, with one of those 2 apps, which are free, download them and use them. We're there with you anywhere you go on the radio. And we're there with you anywhere you're near a TV set on Free Speech TV, on the Dish Network, and on Direct TV. And when I say we, that's a whole team here. Not just me, but Peter Ogburn and Jamie Benson.
Hey.
Good morning.
How about it?
Thursday.
We're plowing through the week.
Christmas is just barely over a week away, Bill.
Put
We're
it this
so
way.
close.
It's grind time.
Yeah.
A week from now, Christmas Eve.
That's right.
Man, Santa will be just dusting off the rails on the sleigh, ready to take off. Giving the reindeer one last snack for the long haul. Ray Rogers is on the team here, too, ready to take your calls at 866-55-PRESS. And, of course, we all depend on Cyprian Bolding, and we always keep him in a good mood because if he gets pissed off, he just turns off the lights and leaves. And, they were stuck.
That's right.
But our videographer on the job today. How about, when you are doing live radio and live television, like anything can happen.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Don't we know it?
And if you're a reporter, a TV reporter, or a commentator like I have, and made a living in live radio, live television particularly, and live radio, but you never know as a reporter when they might come to you, right? Like you're out in the field and suddenly you're on a story and they'll throw to you. You got to be ready, and you have to have something to say. And doesn't matter where you are, they can come to you. That's what happened to a weather reporter up in a traffic reporter rather up in Baltimore. He's known as Traffic Jam Jimmy. All of you listeners in Baltimore probably know Traffic Jam Jimmy. Well, he was out and they wanted to come to see how the roads were doing. Jimmy had taken a little detour. At the very time they came to him live, he happened to be at the drive-in window at a McDonald's.
Oh, man.
And here is what it was like on the air, Fox 45 in Baltimore, live.
Hello. Please hold forward to the next speaker.
Hey, is it too early to get a fish sandwich? Oh, next speaker. Hang on. Oh, Candace, we live? Whoops. Hey, I've been in the car since 4 o'clock. I'm starving. I'm just getting something real quick. Hey, it's too early to get a fish sandwich?
Okay, well.
May I help you? Yeah, can I get a fish sandwich?
We're on breakfast right now.
Breakfast? All right, give me a Egg McMuffin and a black coffee. Stay put, folks. Trust me. I didn't know we were coming live. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
But, yeah.
Too early to get a fish sandwich?
Yeah, I love it.
Is it too early? Get one of them fish sandwiches?
You would never know he's from Baltimore.
Yeah, right.
No, never know.
I want to get one of them fish sandwiches, but it's too doggone early.
Who let the dogs out?
Who let the dogs out?
Right, I know she got but and he just says he's got a million people watching. He says, hold on, folks, I gotta go. Do I get fish sandwich?
Too early?
I gotta take care of my McDonald's, man. That's real life, man, in Baltimore.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, there it is, indeed.
That's great.
On a Thursday, we turn to Susan Paige from USA Today. We'll do that just a little bit later in this hour. Peter Kornbluh from The Nation magazine. The world's expert, wrote a great book on Cuba and the thawing of relations between the United States and Cuba. Peter will be here in the studio with us. And, do you think of Christmas? You want to think of a good wine or a good beer. We're going to talk about some Christmas beers a little bit later in the program. And what role do you think, any good role that the media has played or is playing in this presidential campaign year? But first,
this is the Full Court Press.
Just a couple of other stories
there,
making news. Okay, so astronomers may have found something called a super Earth. Right now they're calling it Wolf 1061c. It is the closest habitable planet outside of our solar system ever found. We don't know yet because it's so far away, but astronomers have taken a look at this
whether
thing.
it is inhabited.
Exactly. It's only 14 light years away. So, if you want to get a quick getaway, right?
Yeah.
This is the way to get out and check it out. They say Dr. Duncan Wright at the University of New South Wales, who is the leading study author on this, says it's particularly exciting. It's a particularly exciting find because it's low enough mass to be potentially rocky and have a solid surface. And it sits within the Goldilocks zone where it might be possible for liquid water, maybe even life. So stay tuned. We haven't gone there yet. We've just looked at it.
All right.
We'll look at it. A new NBC Wall Street Journal poll took a look at the most popular and least popular institutions here in the United States. Like let's say jobs or careers, institutions, right? Things that you know and see every day. Number one on the list?
IRS.
Sorry, that's actually pretty low. Number one on the list is military. 77% of Americans see that as a popular institution. Law enforcement agencies.
I thought you meant least popular. No, most popular.
Most popular to least popular.
Oh.
Yeah. So most popular is military. Right behind that is law enforcement agency. Supreme Court is just behind that. You want to get down to the bottom of the list.
Supreme Court's that high?
33%. Get down to the bottom of the list. Financial industry, 10%. Large corporations, 13%. And just barely above that,
talk radio host.
The national news media.
The
national news media.
Where's hospitals? I mean, doesn't everybody want to be a doctor and make money?
Hospitals, pharmaceutical industry is 17%. I don't know that necessarily counts.
No, that's because of drug prices.
Right. So there you go. And we see this every year. The National Film Registry adds a new list of famous, legendary, classic movies to the Library of Congress. It's their National Film Registry. We got some new entries yesterday. Ghostbusters.
Yes.
Top Gun. L.A. Confidential. Shawshank Redemption. Dracula, by the way. This is a different version of Dracula than the original version of Dracula.
The Keanu Reeves version?
Not the Keanu Reeves version, although that's an underrated movie, by the way.
It is.
It's not a bad movie. And they also have some interesting things, like some old, medical films that you used to show kids in schools. Right? There are some that are in there as well. So I'm good with this list. Ghostbusters.
And this is all part of the Library of Congress, and they salute them and then make sure there's a good...
And they keep a copy forever and ever.
Right.
Amen.
Right. You got it. Yes, indeed. Want to get your take today on... there were several stories that I saw yesterday that prompted me to start asking myself this question. I thought it would be good for us to kick around today. And that is how do you rate the role of the media in this presidential primary? Overall good, or overall basically kind of getting in the way and having too great an influence maybe on the political system? I think it's the latter. I really think we've reached a point where basically the media are running the show rather than reporting on the show. They're running the show, and they are deciding themselves on who's real and who's not, and who's worthy of consideration and who's not. And particularly when it comes to the debates, who's serious and who's not, and who ought to be on stage and who's not. And all of this before one single vote is cast, before the voters have any say, whatever. So I really think, and I say this as part of the media, obviously, but I really think that the media has basically kicked voters out of the way, and they said, you're not smart enough to do this, let us take over. And I might say the only reason, and I'm particularly now in the, when it comes to the debates, we're talking about the cable news channels, but they would not have been able to do this without the Republican Party and the Democratic Party ceding control. It's sort of like Congress, right, has ceded the war-making authority to the President of the United States. By the Constitution, it belongs to Congress. Congress, they don't have any backbone. They really don't want to make any decision about going to war. And so they sort of say, oh, we'll let the president handle that. And I think that's what the political parties have done. They say, these are tough decisions. No, we'll let the media. We'll turn it over to the media. We'll let CNN decide. We'll let Fox decide. We'll let MSNBC decide, for example, whether Rand Paul's on the big stage or the little stage or on no stage at all. And that's what they've been doing. So I see this manifestation of the role of the media in many ways. But first of all, before we get to debates, and again, your take overall on the influence, the role, the power of the media in the presidential primaries, Republican primary and the Democratic primary. But the first manifestation of it I see is in how much time they give the candidates, right? Mm-hmm. That has a lot of influence on what people think about the candidates.
Yeah, absolutely.
No doubt about it. All right, so I saw this. I was checking around yesterday a little bit on Media Matters. Okay, well, Media Matters is a great organization. They are our watchdog of the media from the left. Okay, and they took a look at, God bless them, they went back and looked at every minute of Fox News from May 15, when I forget the first one. Was it Ted Cruz? Who was the first one to announce? Whoever announced.
Ted Cruz was the
first
one to announce.
I thought so. Okay, first one to announce. From May 15 to December 15, just a couple of days ago, right? And here's what they saw. Here's the Fox primary, okay? Listen to this in terms of what are people... You want to explain maybe why Donald Trump is doing so well? Listen to this. Fox News, number of minutes, Peter. For Donald Trump, you can figure out how many hours this is. 1,366 minutes for Donald Trump. That's a lot of time on the air, a lot of airtime, okay? Get this. Number 2, why Donald Trump? Just because, right? He's colorful, he's brazen, he's outspoken, right? He's good media. And they give him 1,366 minutes. In second place is Chris Christie, of all people, right? Chris Christie.
Huh.
Close to Fox, goes in there a lot, on the air a lot, readily accessible. But he's second with only 591 minutes. So he's less than half of Donald Trump. That's how much Donald Trump has triumphed and dominated Fox News.
Stunning.
Right. And I'll just give you some of the others down the list. Mike Huckabee, third, 573 minutes. Marco Rubio, fourth, 550 minutes. Followed by Carly Fiorina, 531. Ben Carson, surprised he didn't get more, 492. Rand Paul, 415. Ted Cruz, 367, and Jeb Bush. Want to know why he's 5% in the polls? 363 minutes.
Yikes.
So that's the Fox primary. But in a large extent, certainly at the very top of the ticket, Fox is deciding who's real and who's not, right?
Yeah, and this has been a problem throughout, right?
Right.
Like, we've talked about this a couple times.
And now let's talk about the Democratic primary. ABC News. This is stunning. ABC News over this time period, this year, right? This is the amount of TV time that ABC World News Tonight has given the candidates this year, right? Donald Trump, 81 minutes. Remember, the network news is only half an hour long, right? That's a lot of time on the network news.
Oh
81 minutes.
It's a lot.
All right? Compare that to Bernie Sanders. ABC, World News, Bernie Sanders, ahead in Vermont. The biggest crowds of the campaign. Closing in on Hillary in Iowa. Bernie Sanders, 1 minute.
Hang on.
81 minutes.
Hang on.
81 minutes for Donald Trump. 1 minute for Bernie Sanders. That's just terrible. Outrageous. I don't have the number here for Hillary. Maybe we can find it during the break. But at any rate, just that alone shows how they have skewed the coverage in this campaign. And it's reflected. It's reflected in Donald Trump's poll numbers, right? And then there's the whole thing about the debates, which we can get into too. But let's start and jump in here. You read it, you watch it, you listen to the coverage. What role is the media doing, and is it helpful or hurtful? 866-55-PRESS.
On your radio, on TV, and online. This is The Bill Press Show.
Here we go on Free Speech TV. You know where we're going to start? I think we're going to start one of those countdown clocks like they have on CNN before the debate. So many hours and the diminishing hours and minutes and seconds until the whole thing starts. Well, our countdown clock, there are just hours left before the end of this pledge drive here in December. Hours left before your chance to get that big tax deduction by giving a contribution as generously as you can to Free Speech TV. So don't put it off any longer. Time is running out. Do it now. Make your pledge now. And I don't mean later today. I mean right now during this Bill Press Show. So we get the credit for whatever contribution, whatever pledge you're able to make to Free Speech TV. And you know how it works. Look, this is a lot of work putting the show together. I hope you appreciate that. I know you do. I mean, we start right after the show. We have a little meeting where we take a look back at today's show and then already start planning on the show, what we want to do, kind of guests we want for the next day, what issues we think we'll be talking about the next day. All day long, Peter and Jamie are working on booking guests for the next day and planning out the show. Again, the issues that we may want to touch on, see what's happening in the news. I go down to the White House at the briefings to gather whatever information I can from the White House briefings to get that inside look at what's happening at the White House. And then we have a conference call at 5 o'clock every afternoon to go over the show, what we've got together so far. And then the next morning we get here an hour before airtime. That is 5 o'clock Eastern, if you please, and do the final job of putting the show together. And then we're on the air for 3 hours with you every single day. A lot of work, but we love it because we love being part of the nation's only progressive 24/7 television channel. And if you appreciate it, and we know you do, again, show your appreciation as generously as you can by making your pledge to keep Free Speech TV on the air. And coming back to you, in return for your pledge, you can help us with just $30. We'll send you a Bill Press Eco Journal and a pen set to go along with it. If you can help us with a pledge of just $5 a month for all that great TV that you get, we'll send you a great Free Speech TV calendar with pictures of all your favorite Free Speech TV hosts. $10 a month, a pledge of $120 for Bill Press Show pint glasses. A lot of fun to have around when your friends stop by. $20 a month for a $240 pledge. A great little package put together by the Women's Bean Project. A copy of that calendar we told you about, 2 of those pint glasses, and a little can of soup and some cornbread for $360 or $30 a month. What a great treat to get a hand-woven, one-of-a-kind Carol Press scarf, rayon chenille scarf for this winter. And for $1,000, if you can do that, get your way to Washington. You and a friend come by the studio here and watch the show. And the night before, Carol and I will take you out to dinner at one of our favorite restaurants on Capitol Hill. There you go. Now's the time. Come up, step up to the bar here, belly up to the bar. Make your pledge right now during the Bill Press Show. Put us over the top. Go to 877-378-8669 or freespeech.org. Make your pledge as generously as you can. Come on, do it. Don't put it off any longer. Okay, thank you.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. At highway speeds, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Stop the texts, stop the wrecks.
This is the Bill Press Show.
Yep, here we go now at 26 minutes after the hour. By the way, we're talking about the fact that ABC News gives Donald Trump 81 minutes, compared to 1 minute for Bernie Sanders. On CBS Evening News, Bernie Sanders got 6 minutes. And on NBC Nightly News, 3 minutes. So why do they decide? They decide, oh, well, God, no. I don't know. Bernie's too old, and he's a socialist, and he's a liberal, and so we're not going to give him much attention. We're not going to give him much time. No. Just reflect. Let the voters decide.
Yeah.
Same thing with the primaries. I really think it's we're going to get to the some of the first primaries where people will be knocked out of the running, not because of what the voters have decided, but because of what some political director at, you name it, Fox, MSNBC, CNBC, or CNN has decided.
I think that's right.
Joe is calling from out in Phoenix. What do you think, Joe?
Hey, I think the only Republican that's actually statesman-like is Lindsey Graham, even though he's hawkish.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's pleasant. I mean, he says things that are crazy, but he doesn't sound like he doesn't sound like he's saying things just for effect. And just like contrary to what the rest of the Republicans are saying, that they're just saying it for effect, and they're not swaying anyone. They're just preaching to the choir.
And Joe, the other thing Lindsey Graham said the other day, all of you who don't think that President Obama was born in America and is a Muslim, he said, you lost me a long time ago. He was talking to members of his own party. Yeah. And he basically said, just get lost here.
This is the Bill Press Show.
Okay, last call. No last call for alcohol. Last call for you to make your pledge to Free Speech TV. We're winding down this pledge drive. Just a few more days to go and getting right near that goal. We still have about $100,000 to raise. That's another $1,500 a day for this show. And last call also, and last chance for you to get that great big fat tax deduction you need at the end of the year by giving to your favorite charity, namely Free Speech TV. And if those of you who have already made your pledge over the last couple of weeks, we thank you. Thank you for being part of the team, part of our friendship and partnership here on Free Speech TV. And if you haven't yet made your pledge, why the hell not? What are you waiting for? All right, you're waiting for the last minute? This is it. We're at the last minute. Don't be a freeloader. If you're enjoying Free Speech TV, Get off your butt and do your part, do your share as generously as you can to keep Free Speech TV on the air. And, if we don't make that amount that we need to make this time, one of two things could happen. Either Free Speech TV could start running paid commercials and get corporate money and be just like the rest of TV. You don't want that to happen. Or we could just go dark and end of Free Speech TV. You don't want that to happen either. So the way to prevent that is, again, do your share. Sign up today, right during this show. Make your pledge. Go to the phone, 877-378-8669, or go online to freespeech.org and make your pledge as generously as you can. Do it right now during this show. If you help us, again, with $30, a pledge of $30 will get you a Bill Press Show Eco Journal and a pen set. For $5 a month, a pledge of $5 a month, $60, a Free Speech TV calendar like this one with pictures of all your favorite Free Speech TV talk show hosts. $120 pledge, $10 a month. 4 Bill Press Show pint glasses, $240, $20 a month. A whole little package. The calendar, 2 Bill Press Show pint glasses, contribution to the Women's Bean Project, a can of soup, and a bundle of cornbread. $360. That's a $30 a month pledge. How about a beautiful hand-woven Carol Press scarf just for you for this holiday season? And special gift, if you help us with $1,000, you come to Washington, we'll have a great time. Take you out to dinner. Carol and I will take you out to dinner at one of our favorite restaurants on the Hill. And the next morning, we'll get some district donuts, invite you in to see the show, meet the whole team, and it'll be your moment in Hollywood on the Potomac. That's it. Again, go online to freespeech.org or go on the phone, 877-378-8669. We really, really need your help. Don't be a freeloader. Get on board. Be part of the Free Speech TV team during the Bill Press Show, and do it now. And we thank you.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
To get in the way before it happens.
To get a friend home safe.
And to not blame the victim.
It's on us.
To look out for each other.
To not look the other way.
It's on us to stand up.
To step in.
To take responsibility.
It's on us, all of us,
to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
The most valuable morning radio show, according to The Nation magazine. This is The Bill Press Show.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. 33 minutes after the hour of Thursday, December 17, The Bill Press Show, live from Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. And our studio right here on Capitol Hill, just down the street from the United States Capitol building, where they reached agreement just about 24 hours ago on a big multi-trillion-dollar budget plan that the House has approved, the Senate's approved, and it's on. I think they've had the final vote. At least they've got enough votes. The Senate pretty soon. No, I guess they vote today and on their way to the president. So we're coming to you live from Washington, brought to you today by, yes, Carol Press Scarves. This is it, just about the last day you can get your order in for this holiday. If you want it there before Christmas, for sure. A hand-woven rayon chenille or bamboo scarf, like this. Those of you watching on television can see this beautiful. I love this blue and black combination here. But there are lots of different colors and patterns and designs to choose from. Go to our website, BillPressShow.com. Click on the link on the upper right-hand corner. You'll find the Carol Press scarves, and there you go. We have been talking about the media and the role of the media in this political year, this political season, if you will, and on the Republican and on the Democratic side, grossly shortchanging some candidates, particularly Bernie Sanders, way overplaying other candidates like Donald Trump. Peter?
So in the debate the other night, Carly Fiorina
Oh, God. Don't
at
start.
some point talked about General Jack Keane and said that he retired early because, quote, he told President Obama things that he didn't want to hear. Remember that line? So
I don't believe anything she says about anything, by the way.
Well, here's the problem. General Jack Keane came forward yesterday and said, I've actually never spoken to Barack Obama. I never served in the Obama administration. I served in the previous administration. That was actually true. He retired before Obama ever actually became president. So yesterday, someone put this in front of Carly Fiorina. A reporter put that in front of her and said, he never served for Obama. And Carly Fiorina said, no, I didn't misspeak. He's been someone of great experience who's been highly critical of the way this administration has taken threats seriously, and unfortunately, he wasn't listened to by Barack Obama and his administration.
But she doesn't. Well, it's just like the video. She will still not admit that she was wrong about the video.
Right. She's
She
just wrong, and now that she's been told that she's wrong, she's digging in her heels.
Yeah, no, she's dead wrong. She's one of the worst candidates we've ever seen. Sarah Palin. I'll take Sarah Palin over her. So, by the way, speaking of the debate, there was a little fallout from the debate still, where one other thing that happened during the debate is that Marco Rubio, the Cruz-Rubio exchanges, of course, were the highlight of the debate. And at one point, Rubio accused Ted Cruz of leaking classified information.
The old program covered 20 to 30% of phone numbers to search for terrorists. The new program covers nearly 100%. That gives us greater ability to stop acts of terrorism, and he knows that's the case.
Dana, may I interject?
Senator,
let me be very
please
careful in
respond.
answering this, because I don't think national television in front of 15 million people is the place to discuss classified information. So let me just be very clear.
Right. And some of the media picked it up and said, oh, my God, Ted Cruz, he told a big state secret there, and Marco Rubio and others were demanding that there be a special Senate investigation on leaking classified information. The head of the Senate Intelligence Committee yesterday said, no, everybody knows that. It's been widely reported. That was not classified information. And Ted Cruz had a chance to say, there you go again. That was Marco Rubio just lying about my record, that he says stuff that just ain't true.
Those two are really getting into it.
Yeah, I'll give that round to Ted Cruz. Right. Yeah. By the way, another little fallout from the debate. Donald Trump having fun yesterday at a rally in Mesa, Arizona, where he flew after the big debate Tuesday night, where Donald Trump says they're really seriously talking about like me getting out and running as an independent. Why should I?
They're saying, are you going to run as an independent? I said, I just got a poll where I'm at 41 and other guys are at 2 and 3 and 7. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Oh, I think I'll leave now and I'll run as an independent.
By the way, he is obsessed with the polls.
He really is.
Oh, God.
He had a little Bernie in his voice there at the end.
He did get a little Bernie in his voice there. I guess he sort of had that same New York thing going for him.
And, the question that we all have about the debates, of course, was asked by Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon last night asked Donald Trump, and that is, so what do you guys do during the commercials?
It's like an amazing thing. You'll be going after someone, and then during the commercial, hey, how you doing? Where are you going for dinner? It's the craziest thing. I've never seen anything.
Is that funny?
That is funny.
By the way, it's true, Again, having made a living in radio and television, you go to commercial break, what do people do? You're debating. Pat Buchanan and I, Bob Novak and I, right, in Crossfire. We go to a break and with the guests, just sit around.
Talk like normal people.
Yeah, and,
It's weird.
Just chew the, what?
Yeah,
right.
It's just so weird. I can't imagine Donald Trump making conversation with Ted Cruz.
A couple of other important news items we want to get in, though, to round out your day. It's not all just political news. It's not all just debate news. Remember, the media had reported, and this is really shocking, and I believed it, that particularly the female terrorist out in San Bernardino had posted the fact that she believed in jihad and wanted to be part of jihad and wanted to be part of violence on Facebook, or on at least on social media, before she was given her visa, K-1 visa, to come to this country as the fiancé who became her husband out in San Bernardino. And the question was raised, and it was raised during the debate too. Why wouldn't the immigration INS look at her social media postings beforehand? And if they had, they would have seen this, and they would have never let her in. James Comey, head of the FBI, yesterday said that was total bogus information.
Those communications are direct private messages. So far in this investigation, we have found no evidence of posting on social media by either of them at that period of time and thereafter reflecting their commitment to jihad or to martyrdom.
So they had emailed each other. Now that raises a whole other question, whether you get into everybody's private emails. They'd emailed each other their belief in jihad, but they had never posted it on social media. Somehow that whole thing got started. Everybody believed it. And there's been legislation introduced. By the way, I think they should look at people's social media postings, just like you do if you apply for a job. People check that out. But the terrorists had not done so. That's important information. Also, big news yesterday from the Fed. As expected, they raised interest rates just from 0 to 0.25, and now that's the old rate. The new rate will be 0.25 to 0.50. Still really, really rock bottom, bargain basement low. But Janet Yellen said even that little bump will not come all at once.
The process of normalizing interest rates is likely to proceed gradually.
And she pointed out that we're able to do this because, while we still have a way to go, we've made a lot of progress on the economy.
The economic recovery has clearly come a long way, although it is not yet complete. Room for further improvement in the labor market remains, and inflation continues to run below our longer-run objective.
Fed Chairman Janet Yellen, they always talk so carefully.
They really
right?
do.
Yeah.
I mean, they are some of the most powerful. That's one of the most powerful positions in America.
Boy, you bet. But it was long overdue. It was just sort of the right measure, and the market responded. The Dow jumping up 224 points yesterday. People saw this as a good sign that the economy is indeed, we're in recovery for sure, with still a long way to go. And finally, the big bit of news yesterday up in Baltimore, the trial of the first officer charged in the death of Freddie Gray ended in a mistrial. And the jury just could not reach a verdict. Congressman Elijah Cummings, who was such a strong presence during the Freddie Gray problems up there and in calming down the community, he said yesterday, basically, stuff happens.
12 men and women, diverse jury, could not agree. That's all. And that's where it is. And so I'm hoping that people will understand that. And when people ask for justice, justice is not always fast. But hopefully justice is fair.
Yep. That's a sad lesson we've learned.
Yeah. There's a long way to go in this case.
Yeah.
And this
a
is
long
not a good
way to go.
This is not a good way to start.
Not a good start, no. But, we want justice, but justice doesn't always give us the outcome that we believe is necessary, believe is right. Susan Paige with her take on the news of the day, Washington Bureau Chief for USA Today, standing by. We'll be right back with Susan. Hey, friends, a little time out here to talk about Free Speech TV. You know what they say? Hey, here we go, friends and neighbors. A little time out here to talk about this Free Speech TV pledge drive. It's our December pledge drive. Your last chance to help free speech and to take advantage of the tax deduction before the end of the year. Heading into the weekend, we encourage you to not to wait any longer, to take advantage of this opportunity to show your support for free speech right now. As I mentioned the other day, no more Mr. Nice Guy just telling you how much we love you and how much we know you love us and therefore you're going to help us. No. I told you I was going to get a little tougher. In fact, it came out and said, come on, make your pledge, damn it. And guess what? It worked. We had the biggest day we had so far just because I used the damn it phrase. So let's try it again, all right? Let's be a little tougher. Stop farting around. Yeah, come on, get off your ass and make your pledge, damn it. And do it today. We need your help. Seriously, look, we wouldn't even be doing this pledge drive. We wouldn't even be asking for your help if it weren't important. You know about Free Speech TV. It is such a rare national treasure, and I'm so proud to be part of it. It is the only independent, the only progressive, the only totally freewheeling, the only non-corporate media out there on television that you can enjoy 24/7 with such great hosts and great information and great opportunity to get your voices out there. And if that's what you want and that's what you appreciate, then please show your appreciation by helping us as much as you can. Any pledge is valuable. Any pledge we appreciate. Any pledge keeps us going. We just ask you to be as generous as you can. And you do your share. We'll do our share by sending you some wonderful little gifts to accompany your pledge. If you can just help us with $30, a pledge for $30, we'll send you a Bill Press Show Eco Journal and pen set. For $60, that's $5 a month. Come on, a Free Speech TV calendar with a photograph for every month of one of your favorite Free Speech TV hosts, including yours truly. $120, $10 a month, 4 Bill Press Show pint glasses you can sip while you watch. For $240, a little package put together for the Women's Bean Project, a contribution to that great project, like a little can of soup and a bundle of cornbread, and 2 of those Bill Press Show pint glasses. For $360, a Cow Press scarf like this one that's just $30 a month. Some of you have already done this. I've heard from some of you, and so excited to get a Carol Press scarf for that $360 pledge. For $1,000, you get yourself to Washington early in 2016. Carol and I will take you out to dinner and come on in the next morning and meet our whole team here. Make your pledge today, again, as generously as you can to 877-378-8669 or go online to freespeech.org. Again, thank you for your help. Happy holidays.
Loud as Donald Trump, but he's a hell of a lot smarter. This is your progressive headquarters for the 2016 election, The Bill Press Show.
Smarter than Donald Trump. Do we set the bar that low?
Yeah, sorry. I mean, I guess we'll take that.
And better hair.
That's true.
All right.
That's for sure.
There you go. I got to tell you, she is everywhere. She is Washington Bureau Chief of USA Today. She is host of Capital Download on WUSA 9 Sunday mornings here in the district at 8:30 a.m. And she is on the Bill Press Show every Thursday morning early. Susan Paige, how are you?
Hey, Bill Press, how are you?
Not as early as David Jackson yesterday from Las Vegas, man.
Man, what time was he on?
The same time right now.
Man,
yeah.
Except it was like 2 hours earlier there, right?
3. Yeah.
Wow.
I think that Susan, I don't know, we should rat on your charge there, but I think he was up all night, to tell the truth.
Yeah. Let's not talk about that.
No, let's not talk about that. All right. So, the debate, Susan, did we anything change by this week's debate?
You know, I have to think it was a pretty good night for Donald Trump.
Really?
You know,
yeah.
Because, look, there's no question who's leading the Republican field in every national poll. And at levels we thought he would never achieve, 38% in one poll, 41% in another poll. So he's got a higher ceiling than I think a lot of experts expected. And you saw the battle really between Senator Cruz and Senator Rubio, and not that many attacks on Donald Trump. The attacks that came were from Jeb Bush mostly, and he kind of flicked them off like it was just an annoying gnat in his ear.
I know, right? But clearly, you're right. The focus was on, debates are not Donald Trump's, I think, just a point there, are not his long suit, right? But he survives them, right? Yeah.
And he survived this one, even though, for instance, he got a question about the nuclear triad, which is a sort of fundamental question if you're going to be commander-in-chief. Looked like he didn't know what the nuclear triad was. doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, exactly. So the battle came between, okay, who is going to be there, like, to inherit the mantle in case Donald Trump ever falls? And that certainly right now is the battle between Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio, who really got into it on immigration, on national security, on leaking classified information. I mean, you get the feeling they don't like each other, Susan.
And yet, so incredible, 2 Cuban Americans, freshman senators from Sunbelt states, 44 years old.
Right,
this
exactly.
Is pretty remarkable similarities, but great differences in, I think, their style and tone. And certainly they both see their best path to the nomination is in knocking the other guy out. And that's why you saw the heat of the evening was really between the two of them.
And we were laughing this morning before the show. There were 2 headlines, there were 2 articles here. One of them says, from Politico, insiders say Marco Rubio, it was his night. He was the one who really shined, right? And then another article, I forget where it was from, just saying Donald Trump wins according to the polls taken by viewers, right?
And which we find over and over again. It's like the whole debate about has Donald Trump now gone too far? How many times have we talked about that? It's clear there's no way for Donald Trump to go too far with the people who are supporting him.
Between Rubio and Cruz, who do you think came out ahead?
Well, if you look at the debate without any context, without any political context, I think you'd say both of them did some of the things they wanted to do. If you look at the campaign as a whole, I think Senator Cruz is in better shape.
I do
too. He's got real strength in Iowa. I think he's now the favorite to win the Iowa caucuses. He's got a good organization elsewhere. He's well positioned in the South, which then follows those early states with its contest. So I would say I think Senator Cruz is in somewhat better shape. But here's one question: is there a point where all the establishment candidates and the establishment support unites behind somebody, maybe Marco Rubio, and does that provide a kind of boost for him?
Well, that's been suggested by a lot of people, myself included, but hasn't happened yet, and I'm not sure it will happen. Do we get a break now, like for 2 weeks? Are they going to just stop campaigning and stop slugging for 2 weeks, or what?
I'm not sure we get a break for 2 weeks. What I think happens is Americans tune out for a couple weeks because by the way, you may have heard this Christmas is coming.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean, right? I'd just like to hear from none of them for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Be a break.
Good luck with that, because it's not like they're going to stop talking. But I do think there's a period where Americans are kind of focused on family and the holidays, and you really have to get into the new year before they're going to focus once again back on this campaign.
One of the most important political organizations, and one that I've been very close to and I greatly admire, is Emily's List. You had a chance this week to talk to
Stephanie Shryock.
Stephanie Shryock, the president of Emily's List.
Right, and someone who's been an advisor to Hillary Clinton. And she talked about this generation gap that Hillary Clinton faces. Hillary Clinton is much stronger among baby boomer women voters than she is among millennial women voters. And she talked about what Hillary Clinton's going to have to do to engage and excite younger women voters, who's going to be a key part of the electorate for her. And she said, one thing she said was that they're not going to vote for a woman because she's a woman. The kind of idea of breaking that glass ceiling, not the compelling argument to make with millennial women. You have to talk about the issues that are engaging them, like student loans and paid family leave and the minimum wage.
That's interesting, because Hillary has been on the scene so long, right? I guess that she's not the rock star to millennials that she was to baby boomers 20 years ago, I guess.
And I think millennial women have different experiences with discrimination than baby boomer women do. And, and therefore the argument that here's this groundbreaker just may be a little bit less engaging than it is for older women.
Do you, I'm sure you saw the news this morning, it turns out now that Defense Secretary Ash Carter was using his office computer for personal emails. Oh, my God.
And this after the stories broke about Hillary Clinton's emails and all that controversy. Do they never learn?
I don't know.
Follow the rules.
Will there be special congressional hearings now with Ash Carter? Oh, well, fine. I don't know, boy. Well, Susan, Merry Christmas to you. Next week is Christmas Eve, so we won't have a chance to talk. So we will talk early again in 2016.
Yeah.
Hey, happy holidays, Phil.
All right. Okay, thanks, Susan. She is the best. Susan Paige, Washington Bureau Chief for USA Today, usatoday.com. Hey, friends, a little time out here to talk about Free Speech TV. You know what they say. You've heard me say it before. There's no such thing as a free lunch, and there's no such thing as Free Speech TV either. Well, yes, there is. I mean, it is free to you, and what a deal. What a great deal every day, 24/7. The best progressive programming you can find anywhere, with starting out with our show with Stephanie Miller and Tom Hartman and all the rest, Amy Goodman. And all of that coming out to you with the only progressive TV channel in this country that you can depend on day in and day out to bring you the news of the day and the progressive slant on the news of the day and give you a chance to express your opinions. Yes, all of that is free to you, but of course, you know, it costs to get that out, to get us out to you, for us to join you every day, and that's where we depend on your help. And again, ask for your help at this time of the year. I told you before, and it's true, we just could not do it without you. Free Speech TV gets no government money, no corporate money, no Koch brothers money. We don't charge guests to be on the show. We don't charge anybody to be on the show. We just depend entirely on you. You are part of the team, and the important part of the team that keep us together every single day. So once again, at this time of the year, whether it's your Merry Christmas gift or your Happy Hanukkah gift, or just, make a tax-free contribution at the end of the year to lower your taxes kind of gift, whatever your motive. We hope it's just because you love all of us and you love this programming, and when you want to help it keep going. As a little incentive for you to dig in and help us with this December pledge drive, we want to suggest that for $30, you will get a Bill Press Show Eco Journal and pen set. We'll send out to you. For $60, Free Speech TV calendar, pictures of all of your favorite hosts. For $120, 4 Bill Press Show pint glasses. For $240, a special charity to the Women's Bean Project, and you will get that calendar, a soup and a cornbread bundle, and 2 Bill Press Show pint glasses, a nice little package. Plus, part of that $240 will also go to Feeding America Project, the Women's Bean Project. For $360, a beautiful hand-woven Carol Press scarf. You know, I wear one, and so does President Clinton, by the way. And for $1,000, you get yourself to Washington. Carol and I will have a good time. We'll take you out to dinner. One of our favorite restaurants on the Hill, and you can come in the next morning here and meet all of our team. So please, help us as much as you can. Try to make $1,500 every day here on the Bill Press Show. Give us a call at 877-378-8669 and make your pledge, or just go online to freespeech.org, and let's keep this great partnership going. Thank you.
This is the Bill Press Show.
All right, your chance to really help people in Africa. Buy a goat in the top of the next hour.
All right, today's the day.
What?
Star Wars.
No.
Star Wars is out today. That's right. It starts later on today. Now, the president actually has not seen it yet, but during the press briefing yesterday, Josh Earnest was asked if the president will see it. Earnest says, I haven't asked about it, so I don't know if he's had the opportunity to see it yet, but I am confident the president will at some point see the movie.
I bet he'll watch it on the way to Hawaii.
There you go.
Oh, you got it. Ellen Ratner joins us next. Talk Radio News
is the
Service.
Bill Press Show.
All right, friends, a little time out here again to talk about Free Speech TV and our latest pledge drive. And all I got to say is, hey, people, come on, get on the ball. Listen, we're about halfway through this pledge drive already here in December. Your last chance to get that tax deduction that you're looking for, that you may need here at the end of the year, and you can do so by helping Free Speech TV. But we're about halfway through the pledge drive, and we're still lagging far behind. We've got over $200,000 we've got to raise in the next week and a half. Here on this show, remember, we've set a goal of $1,500 a day. We've been falling short of that. So Really got to tell you, come on, you got to step up the game here. Get off your ass and make your pledge. Just think about it this way. Think about what a great national treasure free speech is. Think about how much you depend on us and you count on us every day to bring you not only tell you what's happening today, but to bring you the progressive slant on those issues, the truth about those issues, and to give you a chance to talk about it. Think about how much you count on that, how much it means to you, and also think about the fact that it's true, honest truth. We would not be here without you, and it's also true that we will not continue to be here without your help. We've got to make that not every pledge drive so we can keep bringing you the best programming possible every day. Ask you to consider making a pledge of at least $100, but whatever you can do, large or small, we really appreciate it, and it keeps us going. And remember, we'll come back at you with a little gift for your pledge. If you can just help us with $30, a pledge of $30, we'll send you a Bill Press Show Eco Journal and a pen set. For $60, $5 a month, guys. That's nothing. A free speech TV calendar with photos of all your favorite free speech hosts. $120, $10 a month for that pledge. 4 Bill Press Show pint glasses for $240. Very special. We want to help the Women's Bean Project make a contribution to them on your behalf. And then you will get a little bundle with a can of soup and a bundle of cornbread and 2 of those Bill Press Show pint glasses, plus the, the free speech TV calendar as well. $360, a beautiful hand-woven Carol Press scarf, a work of art for you or someone you love, a rayon chenille scarf. And for $1,000, if you can do that, and you can afford it, be that generous, get yourself to Washington, and Carol and I will take you out to dinner as our guests and then invite you into the studio the next morning to meet our team here and be part of the show. We are a family, free speech family. We want you to show that you're part of this family by making your pledge today at 877-378-8669 or just go to freespeech.org. Make your pledge today. Come on, let's do it.
This is why you took a second job. While you taught yourself how to fix the plumbing. While you'll do whatever it takes to keep your home. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. Call 888-995-HOPE today.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. At highway speeds, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Stop the texts, stop the wrecks.
Broadcasting around the nation, on your radio, on your TV, and online. This is the Bill Press Show.
And now Secretary of Defense Ash Carter says he used his office computer for his personal emails. Didn't he learn anything from Hillary Clinton? Hey, hello, everybody. What do you say? Thursday, December 17. Here we go. It is the Bill Press Show. That's me. We are live from Washington, D.C., our nation's capital, and our studio right here on Capitol Hill, booming out to you coast to coast on your local progressive talk radio station, on the great radio apps, either iHeartRadio or TuneIn. They're both free. Download them and follow us on the radio wherever you go. And we're also looking at you on television, on Free Speech TV, coast to coast. And whether you're listening or watching, we welcome you to the program. Lots to talk about today on this Thursday. Lots you're going to want to express your opinion about. So give us a call at 866-55-PRESS. That's our toll-free number. Or just send us your comments on Twitter at BP Show, on Facebook at facebook.com/Bill Press Show. Here in the radio world, a lot of you out there keep up to date on what's happening, particularly here in Washington, both on the Hill and at the White House, thanks to Talk Media News. Ellen Ratner is the founder and the head of Talk Media News. She's also head of a great project we talk about at least once a year called Goats for the Old Goat. Ellen, it's good to see you again.
Well, thank you so much. I started Goats for the Old Goat for my 60th birthday. I'm above that by many now.
Not many, but a few
64,
at any rate.
64, okay. But I'm 64.
It's nice that somebody has enough a sense of humor about themselves that they can call themselves the old goat, because, right, that's you.
Well, that's right. I woke up one morning and said, I'm an old goat, so let's give some goats.
Goats for the old. And we'll tell you how to do it and why that's important. Ellen joining our team, Peter Ogburn and Jamie Benson. Hey, guys.
Hey. Hello, good morning.
There you go. All right. Good team here, led also by Ray Rogers. We call her Ray, but real name. Anyhow, Ray Rogers on the phones, ready to take your calls at 866-55-PRESS. And Cyprian Bolding, our videographer. That's why we look so good on Free Speech TV, because of the good work of Cyprian. And Ellen, we talked last hour about the perils, if you will, of being on live radio and live TV. You never know what's going to happen. We were sitting here one time when the power went out. We were suddenly sitting in the dark.
Oh,
right?
my God.
The last hour, it was a traffic reporter from Baltimore. They went to him. He was sitting in his car at the drive-in window at a McDonald's. He didn't realize he was live, and he's ordering a Egg McMuffin or something.
No, you do have to be careful.
You have to be careful.
Yeah.
Now, here's another guy, a TV reporter out in Rochester, Minnesota, KIMT, and he's reporting on a bank robbery when one of the tellers comes running down and saying to him, "There's the robber right there."
Oh, I saw this. Yeah.
The
robber came back.
Here's what it sounded like.
Tyler, just 24 hours ago, this bank in North...
That guy right there.
What?
That's the robber.
Oh, that's the robber.
That's the robber.
This is live TV, folks. That's the robber. Just went by, according to the bank employee. So I got to go here and call 911. I'll talk to you later.
That's pretty good, right?
That's amazing.
Yeah. That's why he didn't drop the mic and run after him.
Yeah, right? Get back here.
Calling 911 is the smarter thing to do.
Very, yes, exactly.
Not as good for ratings, I should point out, as a producer, but it's probably the smart thing to do.
All right. We got it. So Alan Ratner here with us for this first half hour. We're going to be joined a little bit later by Peter Kornbluh from The Nation magazine, who is one of the leading experts, great guy, on the warming of relations between the United States and Cuba, which happened a year ago today, is when President Obama
You know,
made
I was
that
actually in
announcement.
Cuba.
At the time?
No, about
Oh.
in 1982, I think, or 84.
Oh, nice.
And I actually, it was amazing. Cuba is an amazing place, and I recommend everybody go there. Actually, I know maybe we should take you. Our friend runs the Center for Cuban Studies.
I'm ready.
And
I was there in May.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, I'm
okay,
ready.
okay.
But I want to go back.
All right. Well, it's. Did you go to the Copacabana? Because they're
course.
still doing that show.
Yeah. No,
We have a picture of my parents in the 50s, and then we took it in the 80s, all of us at the same place.
Very good. It's great.
And you know, my brother Michael has been very involved in Cuban foreign relations and helping the Cuban government.
Well, Peter Kornbluh is coming around.
Yes.
Stick around. So we'll get right to
We
it.
fly the Cuban flag in our studio.
Oh, yeah.
if you haven't known.
I brought this back with me.
Oh,
So
that's very cool. Very cool.
All right. We'll get right to goats for the old goat, but first, Peter with the big headline for
is the
day.
Full Court Press.
Yes, indeed. Just a couple other stories making news. So earlier this week, the $1.9 trillion government funding bill, it's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
It's going to happen. Here's the thing. There's one very, very important provision that was slipped into there that I think you're going to like. A provision was put into there that will lift the ban on sledding at the Capitol. Because you know it's banned. If
Yeah,
you wanted
I know,
to, when
I
it
know,
snows,
which is silly. It's one of the best places.
It is one of the best places
Right,
to
that
sled, and you
hill right
can't
in
do
front.
it.
you can't do it. But when this funding bill goes through, there is a ban. That ban has been lifted. Of course, who else but Eleanor Holmes Norton championed this provision inside
good
that
for
spending
her.
bill
Awesome. Good for
to make
her.
sure that something gets put in there to make sure that ban is lifted.
Yeah.
It is in there. So
Capitol Police are not going to like that, but you know what? We should be able to sled.
absolutely.
Yeah, we should get Eleanor in there.
Absolutely,
She's
yeah,
a neighbor
yeah,
that's right over
absolutely.
here.
She's a great person.
Love her.
Crowd Pack just took a look at statistics among all different American towns to see who is the most conservative, who is the most liberal. They took a look at voter registration. They took a look at city laws. They took a look at election ballots, things like that. And they also took a look at political donations, right? So
Okay.
that's a big deal. So let's start with the most liberal town in America.
Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills, I'm sorry, is not in the top 10.
What do you think?
Well, I think parts of Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland, Ohio,
But
no,
that's where
not
I'm from.
on the list.
Oh.
Vashon Island, Washington is number one on the
That's
list.
where Bill Gates lives.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Well,
Yeah.
when you look at the political donations part now, it
Yeah,
starts to
right.
make sense. Ridgefield Park, New Jersey is number 2. A couple other notable ones. Ithaca, New York is number 6.
Ithaca. Huh.
Berkeley, California is number 7. And right here, Tacoma Park, Maryland is number 8 on the list. Now, when you talk about most conservative towns, some harder to name towns on this list. Number 1 is Hereford, Texas. Princeton, Texas is number 2. Appling, Georgia is number 3. Monahans, Texas is number 5. Dalhart, Texas. Childress,
Big
Texas.
surprise,
Lot of
right.
Texas on this list. So
Why am I not surprised?
yeah, exactly. And April 30th will be the White House Correspondents Association dinner, and we found out yesterday who the host and entertainer is going to be for that night. It's going to be Larry Wilmore.
Yeah.
Larry Wilmore from Comedy Central, former head black correspondent for The Daily Show, current host of The Nightly Show with Larry Wilmore on Comedy Central. So he's going to be the entertainment.
He's a funny guy.
He's a very
Really
funny
funny.
guy.
I'm out of touch. What do I know?
Right. Well, he was there last year as a guest.
Oh, really? Okay.
I talked to him at the New Yorker party, and was telling him I really
Right.
love the show and everything. And now he's back this year as the entertainer. It's always a big night, as we know. But that's a whole other issue. Thank you, Peter. So, how did you start with goats for the old goat? And first of all, what does it mean for the? And I want to say that Ellen, you've been in maybe this is the 3rd year you've come in.
I think so. And I want to say you guys sell us more goats and more hearts than any other radio show in the country.
There you go. I mean, I'm really, really proud of that. And that is thanks to our listeners and our viewers around the
They're
country.
amazing. Your listeners are amazing.
I can tell you, yes, you're right about that. So how did you start this project? What's it all about? Just so people know, a lot of people hearing this for the first time.
In 2008, we took 6 talk show hosts to South Sudan, 2 from the right, 2 from the left, 2 from the middle. And actually, we showed them what was going on in South Sudan and how Sudan is actually one country in 2008. Now, in 2011, it's split into 2 countries. There is more the Arab North, and then there is the South, which is mainly Christian and animist, people who talk to various trees and things like that. And what's also interesting is that ISIS has South Sudan on their 5-year plan now because it became Christian, because it's separated from the north, and because there's unrest, they figure they can own the place. So what we want to do is help people by giving them goats. First of all, there's a lot of malnutrition. A lot of people in our area, which is right on the border of the north, eat every other day. We're actually on the border of the north of Sudan and Darfur, which is part of Sudan now, and they eat every other day. And so a goat, we only give lady goats out, it helps a family to have milk, which of course is nutritious. So a goat can produce a liter of milk a day. And the other thing I started then was a post-trauma stress project for women who have seen somebody killed in front of them. And they make these beautiful hearts. Kate Taylor, James Taylor's sister, came to South Sudan. And if you order them today, we can get you a heart by Christmas. That size is $30.
So they make these,
we bring over the Swarovski crystals. They're made of Swarovski crystals.
God, they are beautiful.
And $30 is all they cost. And all the money goes to the women. We don't keep any of it. Are these
the only? Well, first of all,
we have other colors, but those
the website is goatsfortheoldgoat.com. Goats for the Old Goat. So it's these hearts, right, of the crystals are $30.
That's right. And the goats are $60. Now, what's interesting, you can buy a partial goat too. We're the only animal group in the world that gives people a picture of their animal and the recipient with their name, so you know where your money's going, as opposed to some of the other groups that say, oh, well, we understand it's metaphorical or whatever. No, we give real goats. We give a real photograph. You can see it on our website. And you get the certificate you'll get today if you buy it. But the goat picture takes somewhere between 6 months and a year because I make sure I'm there when we do it, so that people know that somebody isn't just giving them a goat and saying, here, take a picture. Here's 5 South Sudanese pounds. No, we actually see that people get their goat, so to speak.
Where do you get
We buy the goats at market, so it's sustainable. But we make sure that white people in South Sudan are called Khawajas. So we make sure that a Khawaja is not doing the purchasing, because then the goat price doubles. So we make sure a local person buys the goats.
Sort of like the Eastern market.
Right.
It supports the actual people.
Yeah. And are these? Will they have like a herd of goats? Or
So what happens is a group of women, usually women, and we also give goats to children. Here's these beautiful hearts. We also give goats to children in school because a lady goat usually has 2 goats a year, and actually one of those kid goats,
2 kids a year.
Yeah, one of those kid goats can help a child with food, as well as getting a uniform. And we don't eat the goats, so I know people get a lot of. We get a lot of. No, you're selling goats, people eat them. No, we give lady goats out. And so a goat will have 2 goats a year, and they can form with their neighbors a place to sell milk or cheese if they can make it. So all of that happens, yes.
Right. What is life like for a person in the South
Sudan?
Sudan?
Well, first of all, one of the things we also actually, if you'll see on our website, we also sell wheelchairs, and because the bikes have to come from the north, they're $300 now. The wheelchairs are made by our people with polio. So life is there are no roads in our area. People sometimes have to walk 2 hours each way a day to get water. For their families. It's very, very difficult. I actually taught our women who make the hearts they can now count to 100. They didn't understand. They didn't even understand the concept of 1 to 5 when we did a how are you feeling with a post-traumatic stress symptom. And now they can count to 100, and we gave them all cell phones. I personally bought them cell phones so that they can communicate with each other, and so they're safe. So we do that, but goats are our sustainability.
What do they live in?
So they
Mud
live
huts,
in
or-
they live in mud huts with straw roofs. That's absolutely correct. There's no running water, no electricity. Women can use the money from the hearts to charge their cell phones. They have charging stations at the market, and those charging stations are usually gasoline that gets again imported. South Sudan is actually oil rich, but they unfortunately made a deal with the North that the North would do a refinery. We know somebody who's actually trying to establish and build a refinery in the South so that the South can keep its own oil.
So it's really one of the poorest places on the planet.
Parts of South Sudan
Yeah.
are considered the hungriest place on earth, which is why I'm there. And the other reason I'm there is because I grew up in a Jewish American family, and we helped settle refugees after World War II. And what I saw when I saw these people, it reminded me of the refugees that I met after the Holocaust who had nothing. And my family would go give them challahs and a check every Friday and that kind of thing.
Right.
So I felt like, wow, I understand these people. And that's why I'm there. I go about 4 times a year. You should come with us sometime, Bill Press.
There's a challenge. Ellen,
You can do your show by satellite phone.
Yeah. I'm taking Peter Ogburn with me if I go. Ellen Ratner here from Goats for the Old Goat. Now, go to the website, goatsfortheoldgoat.com. And I want to challenge you. I mean, I have bought a goat every year that you've been here.
Yes,
and
you have.
I'm doing another one today. So I want you to join me in doing something really, really special for the people of South Sudan. Goats for the Old Goat. This is the way to do it. It's $60, and this is the time of year to do it. And we'll come back and talk more about South Sudan with Ellen Ratner. You have a question or a comment, and don't forget the hearts, too. These are beautiful. They really are. 866-55-PRESS is the number if you want to weigh in here.
Connect with The Bill Press Show on Twitter. Follow us at BP Show and tweet using the hashtag WatchingBP. This is The Bill Press Show.
Okay, friends and neighbors, here we go. Second week of our December pledge drive for Free Speech TV, and we really, really, really need your help. We got a lot on our plate these days. December's a very busy time. I mean, you heard the president the other night. The president says we have to do everything we can to degrade and destroy ISIS. That's one big challenge. We've got to do everything we can to make guns not so easily accessible in this country. That's another big challenge. We've got to get all of our holiday shopping done. Oh, my God. And we've got to save Free Speech TV. That's another big challenge for December. That's why we're turning to you. And let's just get that one out of the way right now. Make your pledge today and do your bit to keep Free Speech TV going. We've got a great, great partnership. I tell you that all the time. I love being part of it. We, Stephanie and Tom and I and Amy Goodman, everybody else, we bring you all the best programming, the best guests, the best commentary that we can every single day. And you help us stay on the air by making your pledges whenever we turn to you as generously as you can and keep that. So let's keep that great partnership going. The only full-time progressive television channel in the nation today. The only free, independent, freewheeling, totally uncensored programming coming to you every day. We know you appreciate that, but we couldn't do it without you. No corporate money, no government money. You are the blood and soul of Free Speech TV. So we ask you again to dig in as generously as you can. Every single pledge, no matter how large, no matter how small, is deeply appreciated by all of us. I'll give you some idea of what you might think about for $30. Pledge of $30, we'll send you a Bill Press Show Eco Journal and a pen set. For $60, that pledge, $5 a month, a Free Speech TV calendar with pictures of all your favorite hosts on it. For $120 pledge, $10 a month, 4 Bill Press Show pint glasses. For $240, $20 a month. A great little package supporting the Women's Bean Project, which includes a contribution to them, plus a can of soup, a bundle of cornbread for you, and 2 of those Bill Press Show pint glasses. $30 a month pledge, $360, a beautiful hand-woven, one-of-a-kind Carol Press scarf for this winter. And for $1,000, if you can afford that, get yourself to Washington. Carol and I will take you out to dinner, and we'll bring you in the next morning to meet the whole show here. We'll even get some donuts in from District Donuts and have a big party. Make your pledge today. Please go to 877-378-8669 or just go online to freespeech.org. Free Speech TV, great partnership. Let's keep it going. Make your pledge today, and thank you.
This is why you took a second job. While you taught yourself how to fix the plumbing. While you'll do whatever it takes to keep your home. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. Call 888-995-HOPE today.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. At highway speeds, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Stop the texts, stop the wrecks.
This is the Bill Press Show.
You got it. 26 minutes after the hour now. We are going to talk to the patriotic millionaires at the half hour. Right now, a great project, Goats for the Old Goat. Ellen Ratner here, the head of it, in our studio with us. She's also the White House correspondent for Talk Media News. And I'm looking here, Ellen, over 7,000 goats given so far?
Yes, we've given over 7,000 goats away.
That's amazing.
Wow. Yes, and that has helped 7,000 families.
Sure,
and
right.
if you look at the kids that don't get goats, they have that red hair from malnutrition. You know, a goat milk does not need to be homogenized, and it produces a liter of goat milk a day, so that can help feed kids. It's really quite amazing. And they line up for goats. They want these goats. So, and goats can eat anything, and there's a lot of nothing to eat in our area, South Sudan. And by the way, you know, I am gay married now, 11 years legally.
Really?
My partner was a pilot and decided to go to medical school. She's now a doctor. We're going to move to South Sudan in 4 years, so when she's finished with her OBGYN residency.
And she'll open a clinic down there?
Well, yes. She actually, I mean, it's so sad. There's 4 OBGYNs for an entire country, 11.5 million people. She saw a birth attendant. Well, afterwards, she saw the baby. The birth attendant had pulled through a cord. It was the kid's intestine. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that goes on. We really want to prevent it for the hungriest place on earth.
God, you're doing so much good work. I just can't believe it. But this project is something we can all support and should support.
And your listeners are the most supportive.
Let's prove it again this year. Go to goatsfortheoldgoat.com. Buy a goat, or at least part of a goat, whatever you can. $60 for a goat, right?
And $10 for partial goat.
$10 for a partial goat. You can also get one of these beautiful hearts.
And we'll get those to you before Christmas. The goat photo you'll get sometime in the next 6 months, but the actual certificate you get today.
All right. So I want you to get your goats down there so they can play with my goats in the South Sudan. And Ellen Ratner, thanks for all you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you.
We'll have a link up on our website again to goatsfortheoldgoat.com.
This is the Bill Press Show.
Neighbors, a little word about Free Speech TV. You know, it's that time of year, our December pledge drive, very, very important before the end of the year. Your last chance to get a tax deduction for making a charitable contribution to our nonprofit Free Speech TV, and hope you take advantage of that. Come on, how much do you love us? Show me today. Let's make that $1,500 goal that we've got today. At least 15 of you with a pledge of $100 will put us over the top. And you know, I got to tell you, we've been doing this now for a couple of years now. It's the same with every pledge drive. I always start out really nice, you know, we love you, you love us, show us how much you love us, give us a contribution, help keep Free Speech TV on the air. And you know what? It never works. Same thing, we're off to a slow start again. It seems like the only way that we can get you guys to respond So get a little testy here. I mean, come on, people. Damn it. Show us how much you love us. Look, remember, Free Speech TV is built on this whole principle. It's something never seen before in the American media, okay? I mean, people who founded Free Speech TV figured, okay, if it's really true that you don't like the corporate media, and none of us do, all right, then we'll do something different, right? We won't take any government money, won't take any corporate money, won't take any Koch brothers money. And if you really like that, you will respond by digging in and keeping free speech on the air. So this is something, again, totally new, totally independent, and that's why we can be as progressive as we are 24/7, all of us on Free Speech TV. So you either like that plan, you like that principle, you like that approach, or you don't. And if you do, again, please show it by digging in and making as big a pledge as you can to keep free speech going, keep it on the air. It is so important. We depend entirely on you, and we'll help you with a little prompt maybe to make that pledge today. If you can help us with just $30 a year, we'll give you send you a Bill Press Show Eco Journal and pen set. For $60 a year, this is $5 a month. A Free Speech TV calendar, pictures of all your favorite hosts on it. $120 pledge, $10 a month. A Bill Press Show, 4 Bill Press Show pint glasses. For $240, something very special, a little bundle put together by the Women's Bean Project, including a contribution to the Bean Project, can of soup and a little bundle of cornbread, and 2 of those Bill Press Show pint glasses. For $360, a great, great gift for yourself or someone you love, a hand-woven scarf by my wife, Carol Press. And again, for $1,000, the big prize, you get yourself to Washington, you and a guest, Carol and I will take you out to dinner at our treat, and we'll bring you into studio to meet the whole team the next morning. Please help as much as you can. We really, really need it. And do it today. Take advantage of this end-of-the-year opportunity to get your taxes down a little bit by helping Free Speech TV. You know how to do it? Call 877-378-8669 or go to freespeech.org. Make your pledge today as generously as you can, and thank you.
At Earth Justice, we defend the environment in the courtroom. Join our fight. When you take a seat, you take a stand. Earth Justice, because the Earth needs a good lawyer.
Streaming live video right now at youtube.com/TawkrTV. That's TAWKR-TV. This is The Bill Press Show.
All right, 33 minutes after the hour, Thursday, December 17, closing in on Christmas here. With still a lot going on, the Senate and the House voting today on the big budget bill agreed upon, $1.9 trillion. Yep. Yeah, right. As Everett Dirksen famously said, a trillion here, a trillion there, and pretty soon you're talking about real money. Still some fallout from the debate, and the White House announcing yesterday that President Obama will stop in San Bernardino, California, on his way to Hawaii to visit with the families of the victims in the tragic terrorist attack a couple of weeks ago out there at the Regional Health Center for the County of San Bernardino. All of that we've been covering, brought to you from, as always, from Washington, D.C., in our studio here on Capitol Hill in Washington. And we're brought to you today by Carol Press Scarves. Look at this beautiful scarf, those of you watching on TV. I'm wearing, those of you listening on the radio, it's a beautiful black and blue, kind of a check pattern here, hand-woven rayon chenille from Carol. You can get one like this, or one like this one, or this one. Lots of different colors and designs to choose from. and this is a perfect time of the year to get them for yourself or someone you love. Go to our website billpressshow.com and follow the link to Carol Press scarves. So something very unusual happened at the Capitol the other day. Usually the Capitol, the halls of the Capitol are filled with people coming in saying, "Don't raise my taxes. I don't want to pay any more taxes. I don't want to pay any taxes at all." This is an unusual group of people who came to the Capitol to say, we want to pay our fair share of taxes, and we're proud to pay our fair share of taxes. And many of us in our category are not paying our fair share of taxes, and we are all millionaires. It's a group called the Patriotic Millionaires. Morris Pearl, who's the head of that organization, joins us on our news line this morning. Hello, Morris. Good to have you with us.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Press. Thank you.
It's Bill, please. And so tell us about your visit on the Hill. I imagine these senators and members of Congress are surprised to see somebody coming in and saying, actually, we want to pay more taxes, or we don't think we're paying enough.
Well, it shouldn't be surprising, because the gross inequality that's increasing in our nation is really bad for everybody. It's bad for poor people, but it's also bad for rich people. Business people can't run businesses in a country that has like a small oligarchy of rich people and lots of poor people. So we need a robust middle class where everybody can make money and everybody can participate in both politics and the economic life of our nation. So I don't think it should be a surprise, but yes, you're right, it is a surprise, and that's why it's newsworthy.
Did you get a good reception and did you meet with any Republicans as well as Democrats?
We met with the staff people of several Republican senators. We didn't actually see any actual Republican senators. But yeah, and the staff people, it's always, from the Republican side, it's always, well, yes, big part of comprehensive tax reform. And that's what they mean. Well, we'll remove a few loopholes, like this carried interest loophole we were talking about, if we can lower taxes in general. And we just try to explain to them that we don't think taxes need to be lowered. Our nation is the most powerful nation in the world, not because we have less government, but because we have a government that does things for people.
When is there any particular legislation that you're supporting, or is it just in general the concept that we have to do something about income inequality and make those who can afford to pay their fair share?
The group was created, Bill, to urge the president to let the Bush tax cuts expire just for the wealthiest. As you know, we compromised in 2010. In 2012, that actually happened, became the law of the land. Since then, we've sort of expanded our remit to inequality more generally. Specifically, we're looking at this loophole that people who earn carried interest, primarily hedge fund managers, private equity managers, and similar asset managers, get to pay taxes on part of their normal income at capital gains rates, which are much lower than the regular rates that people like you who work for a living pay. So there is a specific piece of legislation that Tammy Baldwin and Sandra Levin and the Senate and House respectively are sponsoring to address that just ridiculous inequality. That's the one that even Donald Trump has been talking about being unfair.
Right. And that particularly applies to hedge fund managers, doesn't it?
Well, it applies to people who manage other people's money. Basically, if you invest money in a long-term, in something for the long term, you pay a lower tax rate. But people who just advise people to invest their money can sometimes also take advantage of that tax rate. So it's basically people in the asset management industry, hedge fund managers, private equity managers, and other similar things.
Now, yesterday on this topic, Hillary Clinton met with Warren Buffett, picked up his endorsement, and she talked about this issue. Here's Secretary Clinton yesterday.
I'm going to fight hard to try to implement what is called the Buffett rule. The Buffett rule says that millionaires should pay at least 30% income tax rates instead of 10, 15, 20, and I want to go even further.
Is she right, Morris?
Yes. Yeah, I think she's right and Warren Buffett has been in New York meeting with donors, prospective donors for the Clinton campaign also. So, yeah, I support, I agree with that. that what she's getting at is the fact that millionaires earn their income from sitting at home and just watching their stock appreciate in their portfolio, and they pay a lower tax rate than people who actually work for a living. And we think that it's inequitable. It's not fair, and we don't think that's right.
In the perfect,
yeah,
in the perfect world, or maybe not the perfect world, but what do you think should be the top rate for those who make for millionaires, those in that top 1 or 2%?
Well, I mean, our group isn't advocating for a specific top rate. We think that millionaires, people who make a lot of money, should pay more tax than people who make little money. The economy was extremely successful in the 1950s, 60s, 70s, when tax rates were much higher than they are now.
Yeah.
The tax rates in our country had been higher than 70% for much of our history, during which time we had huge expansions. So I'm not saying we need that today, but I'm saying we need equity. I think what people are complaining about is the unfairness of the tax rate. Mm-hmm. The fact that people who make a lot of money pay tax at a lower rate than people who make less money. So we think it's the gross unfairness and inequity in the system that's really making people just lose confidence that we have a fair system here in our country.
And I think we've also had enough years of waiting for the trickle down, right?
It doesn't trickle down.
Exactly.
That's not the right answer. People make money when lots of people in the economy have money to spend on things. Some of our members are Ben Cohen, who started Ben & Jerry's, who says, I need people who make enough money to be able to afford to buy premium ice cream. And that's what business people need, is lots of consumers who can afford to buy expensive stuff.
Yeah, you're putting the stuff out there. People can't afford to buy it, right? Ben Cohen, by the way. But Ben Cohen, one of the greatest people I've ever met. He's been a guest here in studio with us. Talk about a success story and a wonderful guy.
Yes, I agree.
On so many different levels. How many of you are there, patriotic millionaires? I just love the whole concept of it. And you come from all around the country?
Yeah, there's a couple hundred people that are actually paying members of our organization. Mm-hmm. We come a lot from the East Coast and the West Coast, and a small number from the states in the middle.
I'd love to attend one of those meetings.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, I know. Keith, I know. I saw on the list Keith Mestrich, who's a good friend too from Amalgamated Bank, has been our guest here in studio.
Yeah, he lives right just outside of Washington D.C. He's one of our members and helps lead our organization. In fact,
right. Well, it's good. And people want to find out more. You can always go to patrioticmillionaires.org. And it's just nice to know, for those of us out there struggling month to month, that there are some people who are doing very well, who are thinking about us and saying the tax structure, the tax code has to be fair so that everybody does pay a fair share, and all of the money is not going to everybody, to those few at the very top. Morris Pearl, thank you so much for what you're doing, and thanks for your time with us this morning.
Thank you very much, Bill. It's been a pleasure.
All right, Morris Pearl. He's the head of Patriotic Millionaires. Don't you love it?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Love that message.
Hey, friends, a little time out here to talk about Free Speech TV. You know what they say. You've heard me say it before. There's no such thing as a free lunch. And there's no such thing as Free Speech TV either. Well, yes, there is. I mean, it is free to you. And what a deal. What a great deal every day, 24/7. The best progressive programming you can find anywhere, with starting out with our show with Stephanie Miller and Tom Hartman and all the rest, Amy Goodman, and all of that coming out to you with the only progressive TV channel in this country that you can depend on day in and day out to bring you the news of the day and the progressive slant on the news of the day and give you a chance to express your opinions. Yes, all of that is free to you, but of course, you know, it costs to get that out, to get us out to you, for us to join you every day, and that's where we depend on your help. And again, ask for your help at this time of the year. I told you before, and it's true, we just could not do it without you. Free Speech TV gets no government money, no corporate money, no Koch brothers money. We don't charge guests to be on the show. We don't charge anybody to be on the show. We just depend entirely on you. You are part of the team, and the important part of the team that keep us together every single day. So once again, at this time of the year, whether it's your Merry Christmas gift or your Happy Hanukkah gift, or just, make a tax-free contribution at the end of the year to lower your taxes kind of gift, whatever your motive, we hope it's just because you love all of us and you love this programming, and when you want to help it keep going. As a little incentive for you to dig in and help us with this December pledge drive, we want to suggest that for $30, you will get a Bill Press Show Eco Journal and pen set. We'll send out to you. For $60, Free Speech TV calendar, pictures of all of your favorite hosts. For $120, 4 Bill Press Show pint glasses. For $240, a special charity to the Women's Bean Project, and you will get that calendar, a soup and a cornbread bundle, and 2 Bill Press Show pint glasses, a nice little package. Plus, part of that $240 will also go to Feeding America Project, the Women's Bean Project. For $360, a beautiful hand-woven Carol Press scarf. You know, I wear one, and so does President Clinton, by the way. And for $1,000, you get yourself to Washington. Carol and I will have a good time. We'll take you out to dinner, one of our favorite restaurants on the Hill, and you can come in the next morning here and meet all of our team. So please, help us as much as you can. Try to make $1,500 every day here on the Bill Press Show. Give us a call at 877-378-8669 and make your pledge, or just go online to freespeech.org, and let's keep this great partnership going. Thank you.
Seen on Free Speech TV and online on TawkrTV. This is the Bill Press Show.
Hey, here we go now at 13 minutes before the top of the hour. It was 1 year ago today that President Obama stunned the nation by announcing a whole new approach to Cuba, that we were going to begin to normalize relations with Cuba. Peter Kornbluh from The Nation magazine, author of the book The Back Channel to Cuba, will be here in studio with us at the top of the next hour to tell us all about it. And then we're going to take a look at some new favorite beers for Christmas with Greg Engert from our good friend from Blue Jacket Brewery here in Washington, D.C.
No better way to spend the holidays with your family than
there you go.
A couple of
right.
beers.
Hey, a little fallout from Tuesday night's debate, which we talked extensively about yesterday. The numbers are out for the viewership. I thought it would be way down. I was wrong. I couldn't believe it. But in Christmas season, that many people for the 5th Republican debate were going to tune in to hear the same old people saying the same old stuff. But they did. There were 18,039,000 people who tuned in. That makes it the 3rd most watched Republican debate of all time, or presidential primary debate of all time. The other 2 were also this year. In August 6th on Fox, there were 20, I think that was the first one.
That was the first one.
24 million people watched. Unbelievable. The Republican debate out in Simi Valley, California, that was the 3-hour debate. I think there were 23 million people. And this one, the CNN Republican debate, 18 million people.
I'm a little stunned that it was that high.
It's down, but it's still 18 million people. It's a lot of people.
I was expecting more bombast from Trump. You know, he didn't really lose his mess like he usually does during the debate. He didn't have like a moment where he carpet bombed any candidates. You know, he was pretty low key. I think that's why a lot of people were watching. But hey, What do I know?
All right, there you go. The most serious charge of the evening came in one of the several tense exchanges, to put it mildly, between Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio, where Marco Rubio actually accused Ted Cruz of releasing top secret information.
The old program covered 20 to 30% of phone numbers to search for terrorists. The new program covers nearly 100%. That gives us greater ability to stop acts of terrorism, and he knows that that's the case.
Dana, may I interject?
Senator,
let me be very
please
careful in
respond.
answering this, because I don't think national television in front of 15 million people is the place to discuss classified information. So let me just be very clear.
Yeah, well, Marco Rubio wasn't telling the truth. Ted Cruz said, no, that wasn't classified information. It was all out there. And yesterday, the head of the Senate Intelligence Committee says, no, we're not going to investigate that because everybody knows what Ted Cruz was saying. That is not news. Marco Rubio was wrong. Ted Cruz was right. So much for that little potential scandal. Donald Trump yesterday left Las Vegas, went down to Mesa, Arizona. He had a Bernie Sanders kind of crowd yesterday, over 15,000 people turning out to see Donald Cruz, where Cruz says, what am I saying? Donald Trump, what am I saying?
They have not morphed into one candidate.
Whoa.
Not. It's hard to tell some of their policies apart. I know.
Man. I haven't even had a beer yet.
Well, next hour should be fun. Stay tuned.
Donald Trump flew to Mesa, Arizona. 15,000 over people came out to hear him say, what is this crazy talk about my leaving the party to run as an independent? Why should I?
They're saying, are you going to run as an independent? I said, I just got a poll where I'm at 41 and other guys are at 2 and 3 and 7. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Oh, I think I'll leave now and I'll run as an independent.
He's absolutely right about that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's at 41 and Ted Cruz in that same poll was at 14, I think.
Was the second that's what place. It was.
Yeah, right. And so he should leave and the guy who's 14 should stay.
Yeah.
I mean.
Don't think so.
Right. Again, the number one reason, take it from me, the number one reason Donald Trump will not run as an independent is because he would have to spend his own money.
Yeah.
He's not going to do that. And right now he doesn't have to because he is getting such a free ride. In fact, that's the other kind of fallout, thanks to Media Matters, that took a look at television coverage of the various candidates, particularly on Fox News. They call it, Media Matters calls it, the Fox primary. Okay, so they went back in May 15, from May 15 on. So Ted Cruz was the first to announce in May, and up till 2 days ago, December 15, the coverage that Fox News has given to individual Republican candidates. Maybe you can explain why Donald Trump is as high as he is in the polls when you realize that he comes out number one in the time that he has received on Fox News in that period from May 15 to December 15, 1,366 minutes of coverage.
Good Lord.
That's a lot of time on national television. Okay. Number 2 happens to be Chris Christie. Okay. But Christie, as number 2 in the Fox News primary, 591.
Oh.
Less than half what Donald Trump got.
Holy crap.
Yeah. You wonder why Donald Trump's doing so well? It's because Fox News, and I would have to say all the rest of the cable networks, have embraced him. They give him all this time. He's the one that people see the most of. And then they say they're going to vote for him, whatever that means. President Obama, busy day today, last day before he takes off from Hawaii, and we'll tell you what's on his agenda when we come back.
Your progressive headquarters for the 2016 election. This is the Bill Press Show.
Hey, here we go, friends and neighbors. A little time out here to talk about this Free Speech TV pledge drive. It's our December pledge drive. Your last chance to help free speech and to take advantage of the tax deduction before the end of the year. Heading into the weekend, we encourage you to not to wait any longer, to take advantage of this opportunity to show your support for free speech right now. As I mentioned the other day, no more Mr. Nice Guy just telling you how much we love you and how much we know you love us, and therefore you're going to help us. No. I told you I was going to get a little tougher. In fact, it came out and said, come on, make your pledge, damn it. And guess what? It worked. We had the biggest day we had so far just because I used the damn it phrase. So let's try it again, all right? Let's be a little tougher. Stop farting around. Yeah, come on, get off your ass and make your pledge, damn it, and do it today. We need your help. Seriously, look, we wouldn't even be doing this pledge drive. We wouldn't even be asking for your help if it weren't important. You know about Free Speech TV. It is such a rare national treasure, and I'm so proud to be part of it. It is the only independent, the only progressive, the only totally freewheeling, the only non-corporate media out there on television that you can enjoy 24/7 with such great hosts and great information and great opportunity to get your voices out there. And if that's what you want and that's what you appreciate, then please show your appreciation by helping us as much as you can. Any pledge is valuable. Any pledge we appreciate. Any pledge keeps us going. We just ask you to be as generous as you can. And you do your share. We'll do our share by sending you some wonderful little gifts to accompany your pledge. If you can just help us with $30, a pledge for $30, we'll send you a Bill Press Show Eco Journal and pen set. For $60, that's $5 a month. Come on, a Free Speech TV calendar with a photograph for every month of one of your favorite Free Speech TV hosts, including yours truly. $120, $10 a month, 4 Bill Press Show pint glasses you can sip while you watch. For $240, a little package put together for the Women's Bean Project, a contribution to that great project, like a little can of soup and a bundle of cornbread, and 2 of those Bill Press Show pint glasses. For $360, a Carol Press scarf like this one that's just $30 a month. Some of you have already done this. I've heard from some of you, and so excited to get a Carol Press scarf for that $360 pledge. For $1,000, you get yourself to Washington early in 2016. Carol and I will take you out to dinner and come on in the next morning and meet our whole team here. Make your pledge today, again, as generously as you can to 877-378-8669 or go online to freespeech.org. Again, thank you for your help. Happy holidays.
This is the Bill Press Show.
All right, on this Thursday, December 17, the first-year anniversary of President Obama's announcing that we're going to normalize relations with Cuba. Peter Kornbluh, who is the author of Back Channel to Cuba from The Nation magazine, will be here in studio with us. Then we'll be taking a look about special beers for Christmas. President Obama gets a briefing from his national security team today, and he's actually going for that briefing with the vice president out to the National Counterterrorism Center across the river in McLean, Virginia. He'll deliver a statement after that on the state of our readiness against any terrorist threat, and we have our press briefing with Josh Earnest at 1 o'clock today at the White House. Back with Peter Kornbluh.
This is the Bill Press Show.
I'm a Piston fan. Their slogan was, "We come to work." That's what Detroit about. That's why they used it. It's a team thing. They won 2 championships, a team. There was no star. No mayor can come in here and be a star. It's a team thing. No governors can come in here and think you can do it by yourself. It's a team thing. You got communities. They got ideas, too. The only thing wrong with Detroit, people have lost hope here. Residents, city workers, so much corruption. They lose hope. But I grew up here. I love this city. I think it can come back. I've been working for the city 24 and a half years. Within the last 10 years, we've took 4 pay cuts, and then an additional 10% wage cut. I've lost a home.
When you take all of the decisions out of the city of Detroit, all of us, then what do you have? Exactly what we got, a lot of problems. Every time the city seems to fall into a problem, it's always on the backs of us workers.
You wake up out of a dead sleep and you jump behind the wheel and take off driving and try to get everybody there safe, not knowing really what you're pulling up to. I'm not eligible for Social Security, so the pension is my sole salary at this point.
We've been in business here 39 years. We've seen a lot of changes in Detroit. The area was a lot of industry, a lot of city workers. It's getting very tough for the city workers. It's getting tough for us as a business people.
Response times are increasing because of the closing of companies, which takes your insurance rate through the roof. So all the things that affect us affect the citizens.
I worked for the city in different capacities for 29 years. I feel like an old jacket. They use me up and they throw me away. In my condition, nobody's gonna hire me. I'm 68 years old. Half the times, I can't get my blood pressure medicine. It's either feeding myself blood pressure or paying bills.
$754. By the time they take all the deductions for I have my car insurance, my house insurance, and my health insurance taken out. So the time they take all that, I'll get about $300 after they take all that out. I don't understand it. I can't see how the governor's allowing this to happen and what they're doing and they want to blame it all on the seniors. Not only the seniors, but the city workers. And we worked hard. I know I worked hard.
I've been in Detroit since 1946. I was 14 years old when I came in. I don't live large at all. I wish I could. I don't know when the last time I've been shopping. I only get $1,100, and I'm 81 years old, and I need every penny that I can get and that I do get. And I'm very, very upset about the idea of them taking away my pensions that I worked 30 years for. I think it's terrible that they talk about Detroit like they do, because Detroit has been very good to me.
I have a lot of city workers coming in with their uniforms on, Detroit Water Department, Police Department, Fire Department. I get a lot of people, the Border Patrol come in. So if I lose that customer base, I'm going to be in a position where I might have to close down. If they take away their pensions, if they start cutting jobs, it's going to cut into a large percentage of not only our business, but other businesses that are in the city of Detroit. We're here. We've been here for 26 years. We're still trying to do business in the city.
Detroiters are survivors. They tough, they adapt, but only can do so much when your politicians are ahead of you and we're not on the same team. We're not gonna let Detroit be erased, bulldozed to where we're gonna fight to the bitter end. Detroit gonna survive.
Just this month, my bill was like $138.
Even at one phone call a week cost me $40 to $50 every month.
I am living on a fixed income of SSI, so this is really a great hardship. Families are being punished. When they incarcerate their children, they incarcerate the whole family.
In 2011, the Media Action Grassroots Network, Working Narratives, and Prison Legal News founded the Campaign for Prison Phone Justice, an effort to call on the FCC to address the cost of interstate phone calls. The campaign mobilized prisoners to send hundreds of letters. Advocates and families filled out postcards, met with elected officials, and signed petitions. Partnerships were formed across the political spectrum and with groups in the criminal justice, civil rights, and public interest community. The film distribution company Participant Media and director Ava DuVernay joined the fight through a social action campaign tied to the release of the feature film Middle of Nowhere. In an effort to push the FCC to act, the campaign hosted a historic rally outside of the Federal Communications Commission where for the first time, families of prisoners, elected officials, civil rights and faith leaders came together to call for an end to predatory phone rates.
We're all held captive when predatory phone companies gouge our families.
My son has been incarcerated now for over 10 years, and my husband estimates that in the time we spent over $25,000 on prison phone calls.
My hero's not yours, you probably arrested them. Your schools probably neglected them. They spawn thoughts, you probably infected them. Feed us what you feed us, you can lay us next to them. FBI call it major crimes. Babies making babies cry.
Broadcasting around the nation, on your radio, on your TV, and online. This is the Bill Press Show.
Interest rates a little higher, which is actually good news because it means the economy is doing a lot better. Hello, everybody. Thursday, December 17. Good to see you today. Welcome to the Bill Press Show. You're there with us on the radio nationwide. It's good to see you today. You're there with us on television on Free Speech TV, coast to coast. Good to see you as well. We've got a lot to talk about. It's a big day, December 17. It was a year ago today, President Obama at the White House. I was there, came out and said, we are going to start to rebuild and normalize relations with Cuba after over 50 years of a crazy embargo. Haven't lifted the embargo, but have made a lot of progress. We now have a Cuban embassy in Washington and an American embassy in Havana. This is a day to celebrate and to talk about how things are going on. Nobody better to do that with than our good friend Peter Kornbluh, who is with The Nation magazine, author of the new book Back Channel to Cuba, which is now out in paperback, updated with the role of the Pope and the President in making this new era happen, if you will. Peter, it's good to see you.
It's great to be here on what the Cubans call 17D.
Oh, is that it?
Sounds like an apartment number, but but in fact, it's an iconic day in the history of U.S.-Cuban relations, and it's very respected in Cuba.
17D, Peter Kornbluh, a good friend with whom I went to Cuba in May, and we had a great trip. Learned a lot and had a lot of fun, and just enjoyed the beautiful country and the beautiful people.
Yeah, can I just say, Bill, since you went, another 50 or 60,000 U.S. citizens have gone to Cuba.
Wow, really? That many?
A lot of people. They estimate there's a 60% jump in U.S. citizens going to Cuba this past year since Obama kind of lifted the restrictions on a lot of travel. We still don't have the freedom to vacation in Cuba, but we can go for educational purposes, for people-to-people purposes, for journalistic purposes, and most everybody could fit into the categories of going if they put their mind to it.
Sure, right, yeah. No, I always say there are 12 categories.
I mean, if you can go, anybody can go, right?
There are 12 categories, and if you can figure out how you can get into one of those 12 categories, you might as well stay home anyhow, right?
Right, but what we really need is freedom to travel, and that is
Absolutely.
a bill that is in the Senate and the House, and these Republicans have to be pushed to let us go, let us travel to Cuba. There's no threat there.
Yeah. Well, I didn't realize. I knew I was a trendsetter. I didn't realize I was such a trendsetter. But anyhow, that's good to know. And more good news about Cuba. We'll find out from Peter. With our team here, Peter Ogburn and Jamie Benson, of course, and Ray Rogers and Cyprian Bolding. We thank you all. We'll jump right into the news a little bit later. After Peter, we're going to have to sit back, and you're welcome to hang around and test out some new beers for Christmas, by the way. But first,
This is the Full Court Press.
Just a couple of other stories making news. The Chipotle apology tour is underway.
They need one.
Yeah, they really do. The head of Chipotle, Steve Ells, we've talked about problems that they've had with some people getting sick after eating at Chipotle with an E. coli outbreak and also norovirus.
Yeah.
A large letter from Steve Ells, founder of Chipotle, making its way into the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, USA Today earlier this week, where he says, as a chef, nothing is more important to me than serving my guests food that is safe, delicious, and wholesome. But recent events, an E. coli outbreak that sickened 52 people and a norovirus outbreak that sickened approximately 140 people at a Chipotle restaurant in Boston have shown us that we need to do much better. So owning up to it, says they're going to put some new standards into practice and see if they can't serve better food moving forward.
They have a long way to go. They were hurt by that.
They got a long way to go. A new study from the University of Alberta shows that if you can't make it to the gym, why not just have a glass of red wine instead? They say that one glass of red wine has the same effect on the body as 1 hour at the gym. I am hesitant to believe this story.
This study comes out.
I want to believe that story.
I know. No, this is like this story
once,
goes all the
every
time.
6 months.
Here's what they say, though, by the way. There's a component in the wine called resveratrol, which was seen to improve physical performance, heart function, and muscle strength, similar to the effect that exercise has on the body.
Yeah, let's not believe that story. By the way, how about mojitos? I can tell you, Peter Kornbluh makes a wicked mojito. And in my phone here, I have a photo of Peter giving a class on how to make mojitos.
Oh, man.
In Havana.
Equal parts sugar and lime and rum.
There you go.
And ice.
Nice.
Club soda.
And here we are. Today's the day, the opening day of Star Wars, The Force Awakens. Listen to these numbers that they've already crossed, because they've had early ticket sales for quite some time now.
Yeah.
They just recently crossed the $100 million mark in opening weekend advanced sales. Now, just to put that into perspective, the previous record holder was The Dark Knight in 2012, which had $25 million in early sales.
Stunning.
They're saying that the numbers could even go higher before the actual event happens later on today. And they are saying, no, we'll have to see how it happens, but it could debut as opening at $220 million, which would give it the biggest opening weekend of all time. We'll have to see what happens after this weekend.
Imagine what the crowds are going to look like. I mean, what they'll be wearing, what people will be wearing.
Oh, my God.
And the New York Times gave the movie a good review.
It's getting excellent reviews. It's getting really well reviewed. It's like a 97%
I'm going.
on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah. I'm going. I got my advance
Let's
tickets.
all go together.
I'm not going the first weekend, but I'll be there.
12 minutes after the hour now. So, Peter, what has changed in this last year like a lot, but not enough, I guess, is the quick. But tell us some of the things that have changed, that have improved in relations between the U.S. and Cuba in the last year.
I mean, I'd like to say almost everything, but from the tone to the actual economic and political relationship, things are so different, a world of difference. I was just at a soiree last night at the Cuban embassy. It used to be for many years the Cuban interest section.
Yes.
Now it's a full-fledged embassy. The ambassador, Jose Cabañas, hosted over 400 people. The party was actually put together by a new business lobby, Engage Cuba. And Cuba's been engaged. It's been engaged in terms of the business community. It's been engaged culturally, and it's certainly been engaged in terms of U.S.-Cuban official relations. The United States and Cuba have set up a bilateral commission to actually kind of set the agenda and the schedule for so much negotiation on so many issues of mutual interest. We've done examined the issues so far that are kind of common issues. We haven't gotten to what my colleague William Leogrand calls the conflict issues, or the issues not in common, which are kind of the vestiges of the U.S. imperial and imperialist kind of intervention in Cuba. But we've tackled just today, this last night, it's in the newspaper right now, a new accord for direct air flights to Cuba. You and I went on a charter airline when we went, but now people are just going to be able to log on to American Airlines, pay their ticket. Not yet, but they're going. But this accord clears the way for that to happen. And that's just an example of things that we take for granted as normal with every other country, but with Cuba has not been that way.
And you mentioned how much easier it is for Americans to get there and to experience.
Well, we were essentially kind of restricted from going unless we kind of got a license or went on a licensed tour. But now with Obama's changes, we can basically say ourselves, it's kind of an honor system license, that we're going for educational travel, that we're going on a people-to-people trip, that we're going for journalistic purposes. And the point is that the President of the United States wants people to go to Cuba. He doesn't want to prosecute people for going to Cuba. He wants people to go to Cuba and see Cuba. He wants businessmen to kind of build business relationships and then come back and lobby Congress to lift the embargo. This is what he is striving for, Obama, in his last year in office.
So people want to go. That's important.
And are going, yes.
But if people want to go, our listeners and our viewers want to go to Cuba, they don't have to get a license from the Treasury Department anymore, right? What do they do?
All they have to do is contact a travel agency.
A charter company,
right? It could be Cuban Educational Travel that you and I went on, or it could just be the website of the actual direct charter plane company, ABC Charter, Marasul, others. And they just have to check off a box saying, I'm going for educational purpose, I'm going with this group. If you go on a tour, you see more of Cuba, but a lot of people are going on their own.
I know. If you go with a group like we did, it was great, and you helped organize that. But you learned a lot and met with a lot of interesting people, but you could also just go on your own and basically organize your own tour, right?
You can organize your own tour now. That's right.
Now, if let's say the worst scenario. That a Ted Cruz or somebody were elected president, right? Could all of this goodwill and all this progress just be turned backwards? Reversed?
The operative word is irreversibility here. Is what Obama has done irreversible?
Yeah.
Or could a Marco Rubio or a Jeb Bush or Chris Christie or God forbid, Ted Cruz, come into the office, say, well, I'm just going to, break relations again and close the embassy and cut off travel and penalize and sanction Cuba. I mean, certainly that's theoretically true, but the constituency that has built to date for more positive U.S.-Cuban relations, and particularly in the Cuban-American community in Florida, who are now traveling in droves to Cuba, who are giving remittances without any ceiling because Obama has lifted the ceiling on remittances, and who include businessmen, Cuban-American businessmen, who want to help Cuba's economy transition under Raul Castro from kind of a strictly centrist, state-dominated economy to a much more market-oriented economy and see the potential for that. Those people want to go, they want to invest, they want to build, they want to have a relationship with their relatives in Cuba, and they are the ones that are going to be pressing the next president of the United States not to reverse these gains that Obama has made with Cuba.
And the American business community will be as well, right? I mean, because they're starting to make some serious big deals down there. I keep hearing about, Google's down there, Coca-Cola's down there. I mean, right?
You and I have watched over the last 30, 40 years as kind of political advocacy groups and solidarity groups have kind of led the charge to change Cuba policy. And now we've all been kind of overcome by the business community.
Right.
They have the resources, the tact, the lobbyists to really push this. And now that they're becoming invested, groups like the Agricultural Association, like this group Engage Cuba that hosted the party last night at the Cuban Embassy to celebrate December 17th, they are the ones now kind of pushing the envelope. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce just took a quiet trip to Cuba just this past weekend. They took Carlos Gutierrez, who was Bush's Secretary of Commerce.
Yeah, right.
And he is going to be a leading voice, I think, in pressing for Republican businessmen and Cuban-American Republicans to actually step up and get the votes to lift the embargo.
You have an article in the Nation magazine this week about
an anniversary article.
17D, anniversary article. Alongside of it, I was amused to see interested to see, I guess, the comments because Cuba has become an issue in the 2016 presidential primary.
You have two Cuban American candidates, Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio,
both of whom are against what's going on.
Absolutely, they are on the extreme right about this. Yeah. Marco Rubio says he's going to unravel, as he puts it, everything the president has done, and it we'll have to wait and see if he becomes president before taking that seriously.
Donald Trump just says the concept of opening with Cuba is fine.
Right. Well, see, Donald Trump is a businessman, and he sees bucks in building hotels and having tourists in Cuba. In fact, the Cubans haven't done anything to us. So what's the problem? And that's Donald Trump's kind of better side, I'd say.
And Ted Cruz is as bad as Rubio on this, right?
Ted Cruz is really quite harsh on this. Yes. Yes, if you want to maintain good relations with Cuba, don't vote for either of those two guys.
I was pleased to see that I am quoted in your article.
You are
by a comment made. You can tell the story.
Right. I'm waiting for the LOLs to appear in my on my text messages.
It was the very first meeting, Peter, that we had. As I recall, the very first speaker that you would arrange.
Yes, the urban planner,
an economist, an urban planner. He's a wonderful, wonderful guy, and I have fessed. My question to him, I had to fess up on why I thought, if we were honest, all of us were there on that trip, is because I told him we all want to see Cuba before we destroy it. And are you going to let that happen?
Yes, and his response to you was, of course, that Cuba is very concerned about its future development. He, in particular, told us he doesn't want to see Havana become another Shanghai, just turned over to tourism. Cuba is kind of dragging its feet right now on the whole issue of Carnival Cruise Lines opening up docking rights in Cuba for the moment. But the Cubans have a development plan. Tourism fits into that plan. U.S. businesses fit into that plan. But they're going methodically and slowly, what Raul Castro likes to say is without rush but without pause, into this economic transition. It's not fast enough for a lot of Cubans, and Cubans are still leaving Cuba in significant numbers. But it is happening, and every trip that I go on since yours, I can see the changes on the street.
Now, will one of the next Americans to go to Cuba be Barack Obama? He raised that possibility himself this week. Peter Kornbluh with us. His book with your co-author again is William
Leogrand.
William Leogrand, Back Channel to Cuba. The most updated version, the paperback version, is just out. We'll be right back with Peter at 866-55-PRESS.
Get social with Bill Press. Like us at facebook.com/Bill Press Show. This is The Bill Press Show.
Okay, friends and neighbors, here we go. Second week of our December pledge drive for Free Speech TV, and we really, really, really need your help. We got a lot on our plate these days. December's a very busy time. I mean, you heard the president the other night. The president says we have to do everything we can to degrade and destroy ISIS. That's one big challenge. We've got to do everything we can to make guns not so easily accessible in this country. That's another big challenge. We've got to get all of our holiday shopping done. Oh, my God. And we've got to save Free Speech TV. That's another big challenge for December. That's why we're turning to you. And let's just get that one out of the way right now. Make your pledge today and do your bit to keep Free Speech TV going. We've got a great, great partnership. I tell you that all the time. I love being part of it. We, Stephanie and Tom and I and Amy Goodman and everybody else, we bring you all the best programming, the best guests, the best commentary that we can every single day. And you help us stay on the air by making your pledges whenever we turn to you as generously as you can, and keep that. So let's keep that great partnership going. The only full-time progressive television channel in the nation today, the only free, independent, freewheeling, totally uncensored programming coming to you every day. We know you appreciate that, but we couldn't do it without you. No corporate money, no government money. You are the blood and soul of Free Speech TV. So we ask you again to dig in as generously as you can. Every single pledge, no matter how large, no matter how small, is deeply appreciated by all of us. I'll give you some idea of what you might think about for $30. Pledge of $30, we'll send you a Bill Press Show Eco Journal and a pen set. For $60, that pledge, $5 a month, a Free Speech TV calendar with pictures of all your favorite hosts on it. For $120 pledge, $10 a month, 4 Bill Press Show pint glasses. For $240, $20 a month, a great little package supporting the Women's Bean Project, which includes a contribution to them, plus a can of soup, a bundle of cornbread for you, and 2 of those Bill Press Show pint glasses. $30 a month pledge, $360, a beautiful hand-woven, one-of-a-kind Carol Press scarf for this winter. And for $1,000, if you can afford that, get yourself to Washington. Carol and I will take you out to dinner, and we'll bring you in the next morning to meet the whole show here. We'll even get some donuts in from District Donuts and have a big party. Make your pledge today. Please go to 877-378-8669 or just go online to freespeech.org. Free Speech TV, great partnership. Let's keep it going. Make your pledge today, and thank you.
This is why you took a second job. Why you taught yourself how to fix the plumbing. Why you'll do whatever it takes to keep your home. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. Call 888-995-HOPE today.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. At highway speeds, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Stop the texts, stop the wrecks.
This is the Bill Press Show.
26 minutes after the hour, Peter Kornbluh with us as our guest. He is Mr. Cuba, and his book, Back Channel to Cuba, now out. I mentioned this is the latest, the paperback, all the latest, including the role of the Pope. But it's now out, Peter, also in Spanish. You want to give us the Spanish title?
I think you should try, Bill. Come on, let's practice your Spanish.
Diplomacia encubierta con Cuba.
Good job, Bill.
Anyhow, right.
That means covert diplomacy with Cuba. Because there's no Spanish word for back channel.
Did you go to Havana for the launch in Spanish?
The launch in Spanish was in Mexico at the Guadalajara Book Fair, where tens of thousands of people came to the fair, and people still really read books. It's really gratifying.
No, that is
so
good
it's
to
been
know.
published in Mexico. We're bringing it to Cuba in February for the Havana Book Fair. It's distributable in the United States for anybody who wants to read it in Spanish. And it also has the complete story right up through the opening of the embassies, how Obama and Raul Castro secretly negotiated over a 2-year period this extraordinary normalization accord, bearing the acrimonious past that involves assassination plots, the trade embargo, the democracy programs, the invasion at the Bay of Pigs, all of that now behind us.
So when's Obama going to Havana?
You know, if Obama really wants to consolidate these changes that he's made, he gets a big entourage of business and cultural figures and goes to Havana for a day and a half or a day even. He has sent Secretary John Kerry to Havana. He has sent 2 of his other cabinet ministers, cabinet secretaries, the Secretary of the Treasury, Secretary of Commerce, Secretary of Agriculture. If he wants to go, he will really advance this policy and kind of, I think, secure his legacy. I think he wants what they call deliverables in the U.S. government before he goes. He wants to see more on human rights, et cetera. So that's, I think, under talks right now.
All right, good. He will be there before he leaves the White House.
We'll be back to talk about
Peter
it.
Kornbluh, you're coming back here again, too, and thanks for coming in today.
This is the Bill Press Show.
Neighbors, a little word about Free Speech TV. You know, it's that time of year. Our December pledge drive, very, very important before the end of the year. Your last chance to get a tax deduction for making a charitable contribution to our nonprofit Free Speech TV, and hope you take advantage of that. Come on, how much do you love us? Show me today. Let's make that $1,500 goal that we've got today. At least 15 of you with a pledge of $100 will put us over the top. And you know, I got to tell you, we've been doing this for a couple of years now. It's the same with every pledge drive. I always start out really nice, you know, we love you, you love us, show us how much you love us, give us a contribution, help keep Free Speech TV on the air. And you know what? It never works. Same thing, we're off to a slow start again. It seems like the only way that we can get you guys to respond is we get a little testy here. I mean, come on, people, damn it. Show us how much you love us. Look, remember, Free Speech TV is built on this whole principle. It's something never seen before in the American media, okay? I mean, people who founded Free Speech TV figured, okay, if it's really true that you don't like the corporate media, and none of us do, all right, then we'll do something different, right? We won't take any government money, won't take any corporate money, won't take any Koch brothers money. And if you really like that, you will respond by digging in and keeping free speech on the air. So this is something, again, totally new, totally independent, and that's why we can be as progressive as we are 24/7, all of us on Free Speech TV. So you either like that plan, you like that principle, you like that approach, or you don't. And if you do, again, please show it by digging in and making a big a pledge as you can to keep free speech going, keep it on the air. It is so important. We depend entirely on you, and we'll help you with a little prompt maybe to make that pledge today. If you can help us with just $30 a year, we'll give you send you a Bill Press Show Eco Journal and pen set. For $60 a year, this is $5 a month. A Free Speech TV calendar, pictures of all your favorite hosts on it. $120 pledge, $10 a month. A Bill Press Show, 4 Bill Press Show pint glasses. For $240, something very special, a little bundle put together by the Women's Bean Project, including a contribution to the Bean Project, can of soup, and a little bundle of cornbread, and 2 of those Bill Press Show pint glasses. For $360, a great, great gift for yourself or someone you love, a hand-woven scarf by my wife, Carol Press. And again, for $1,000, the big prize, you get yourself to Washington. You and a guest, Carol and I will take you out to dinner at our treat, and we'll bring you in the studio to meet the whole team the next morning. Please help as much as you can. We really, really need it. And do it today. Take advantage of this end-of-the-year opportunity to get your taxes down a little bit by helping Free Speech TV. You know how to do it. Call 877-378-8669 or go to freespeech.org. Make your pledge today as generously as you can, and thank you.
At Earth Justice, we defend the environment in the courtroom. Join our fight. When you take a seat, you take a stand. Earth Justice, because the Earth needs a good lawyer.
The most valuable morning radio show, according to The Nation magazine. This is The Bill Press Show.
Hey, here we go at 33 minutes after the hour. Thursday, December 17. How about it? Good to see you today. Thank you so much for joining us. We are live from Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. Brought to you today, those of you watching on TV, take a look. Brought to you today by Carol Press Scarves, this beautiful scarf that I'm wearing, made by my wife, Carol Press. You can pick one out for yourself as someone you love. this holiday season. Today's about the last day to do it. If you really want it by Christmas, go to our website, BillPressShow.com. Follow the link to the Carol Press scarves and all the different styles and colors available. One follow-up on the last half hour, just meant to remind you that if you are interested seriously in going to Cuba, and I can't encourage it too much, it's just a fabulous, fabulous place. Go to thenation.com. They do great trips. Carol and I went on a Nation trip, and it was wonderful. They've got maybe every couple of months a new trip. Go to thenation.com, and while you're there at thenation.com, you can also read the article online in the Nation 17D+1 that Peter Kornbluh has up about the latest negotiations in China. And by the way, Cuba also has some great beers, but not as good as, how's that for a segue here?
Nice.
As the neighborhood restaurant group here in Washington, particularly at our favorite place called Blue Jacket Brewery. Greg Engert is the beer director for the neighborhood restaurant group, and he joins us again in studio to talk about some Christmas beers. Greg, it's good to see you.
Good to see you too, Bill.
Everything good?
Everything's great.
And before we get into this, you guys are launching yet another. You already have, there's Church Key and Birch and Barley, and Blue Jacket, and now a new place?
Yeah, so we're doing a new place. It's opening in Georgetown in the new year. It's called The Sovereign, and it's going to be our homage to classic Belgian beer, but also classic Belgian cuisine. It's going to be amazing. There's not going to be any Belgian place like it in the U.S.
I'm so excited. Yeah, I'm really excited. I love Belgian beers, and
Belgians. I mean, they don't. Maybe people don't give them enough credit, right? They've got you think of Germany, no, but Belgium is a real.
Yeah. Well, they give them a good amount of credit, I'd say. One of the things that we're doing though is kind of unearthing some of the smaller breweries that don't get quite the play that some of the bigger ones do. You know, like the Belgians are kind of known for emblazoning their logos on glasses and umbrellas and all this stuff, and you kind of see the same beers at every single place. I've got a bunch of friends over there making really exquisite beers in small batches, and we're going to kind of show the other side of artisanal Belgian brewing, which is great. And Belgian cuisine definitely doesn't get as much attention as the French cuisine.
Right.
But it's incredible.
French fries came from...
You know it. Belgium. That's
from
right.
Belgium.
That's right.
So
and more.
they should be named Belgian fries.
That's right, yeah.
All right, what do we have for this season? What's going on? Where do we start?
So I always like to bring things that are kind of less expected as far as Christmas beers go, but this is more of a seasonal winter beer. We're starting off with something from Blue Jacket, our brewery down in Southeast. It's called A Little Golden Gem. So this is the only beer I think you might like today, Bill.
Nice. Of all of these, let's start with this one.
Well, I think the one you might like the best.
Oh, I see.
So
Okay,
I should say. This is a tart, kind of refreshing wheat beer that has been aged on 200 pounds of fresh
that's a
kumquats.
We'll give that to this guy.
Really? Oh, that's right.
But 200 pounds of kumquats. And so it's got this.
I'm just always amazed at the combinations you come up with. Who would have thought, right, of using kumquats?
The fruit beers that Blue Jacket makes are amazing, right? Like I always tell you, like if you don't think that you like fruit beer, right, which a lot of people say they don't like fruit beer, go try some of the Blue Jacket fruit beers. They're just amazing. They're so good.
I have to come back again because I'm always impressed with the way you sniff first. So explain what you're doing and why.
That's awesome.
Right?
Because just like with wine, just like with wine. I mean, this is filled with aromatic complexities. You know? And actually, it's very wine-like. So, to Peter's point, when we use fruit, we use fresh fruit, we use seasonal fruit, but we also don't let the fruit dominate. So it's just one of the things that you taste here. We've also added coriander to this beer, so it's got a really cool kind of white peppery spice against it. Tart and refreshing. It's only 3.9% alcohol.
Isn't that delicious?
Oh yeah.
So you can drink quite a few of them. It's only 3.9%. So sessionable.
Yeah.
Really I love this. This is really delicious. And it's seasonal, right? You could drink this any time of year, right?
Well, that's the whole thing about seasonals, which is so funny. It's like this is actually seasonal because we can't get fresh kumquats any other time of the year. You'll see our orange beers at this point of the year too, like blood orange and things like that. But as far as the flavors, you might associate more with the summer season.
Yeah.
which is fun too. To not just have everything be 12% and
exactly.
dark.
Not
and
everything
strong.
has to be as dark as a cup of coffee.
Do people go for fruit beers?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. I think because, again, we've changed the conversation on this. It's not like they just taste like artificially flavored, syrupy, fruit beers. We're using fruit as an ingredient just like you would use barley or hops or anything else here. And so I think people appreciate that as well. And people love a little bit of acidity in their drinks. I mean, that's why, wine is so great, with all that kind of nice acidity in the back end. Great with food, balances against salt, like pretzels and things like that. So, yeah, I mean, fruit beers are definitely something that's really cool. I'm lucky to have, as my head brewer, a guy named Josh Chapman, who is a former chef, and he was actually a sous chef at our very first place called Evening Star Cafe. So he thinks in a very culinary way. And so even we've been preserving fruits from certain times of the year so that we can use them at other times of the year and things like that. It's a really cool kind of culinary approach we're taking at Blue Jacket today.
But that's the key, I think. All fresh fruit, right?
Yeah,
Like all fresh, but not like syrups or flavorings or anything like that. That's the big difference.
Jamie, too bad.
I'm coming in at the break.
Oh, Jamie, I'm sure Jamie's going to get some. Trust me, he'll find a way.
No, this is mighty fine. By the way, I do have my plate of pretzels here. I'm an old-fashioned beer drinker, right? I have to have some pretzels or chips or something. Yes, good.
Ready for the next one?
Yes, sure.
Okay. So this one is kind of a nod to the Sovereign, the Belgian spot that we're going to be opening up in Georgetown. This is a beer from a very dear friend of mine in Belgium. His name is Urban Coteau, and he owns a brewery called Struise. And this is his holiday beer. It comes out, obviously, once a year, and it's called Jesus. TSJEESES, because he says if you drink, in his very kind of thick Flemish accent, when you drink a lot of these, he just says like Jesus, like that. And actually, to be fair, in Belgium, they're a little bit more lax on label laws.
Yeah.
This picture of Urban with the sunglasses and the little elf hat also has a joint coming out of his mouth over there, but they pulled that for the American market.
Oh no, yeah.
Couldn't possibly. This one is also not 3.9%, so just watch it.
Okay.
This is this is up about 10% alcohol. So the cool thing with this one though is it's a Belgian holiday ale, not too dark, 10% alcohol that he ages for 1 full year in oak barrels that previously held port wine.
Whoa!
So this has kind of a port-like quality to it, but also still has that refreshing effervescence of beer.
Yeah. And
has a kind of like oxidized note, slightly like raisiny, toffee quality that you get with port sherry.
That's really good. That's one of the more different beers I've ever had. That's odd in a very good way.
And definitely like a sipper after dinner drink. It's like almost cognac like too.
Yeah, Jesus. Right. Yeah, I wouldn't drink too much of that.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a good drink if you want to get away from your family over Christmas, but still stay in the same room as them. Have one of these. Yeah, you'll be fine.
Have one of these and just like zone out.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
How many different beers do you have on your menu? Do you offer?
So at Blue Jacket, we have a kind of a rotating array of 20 different beers that we all make in-house. But like if you go to, so the Sovereign, we're going to have 50 different Belgian and Belgian-inspired drafts at all times.
Holy cow.
So most of those will be from Belgium.
50 drafts.
But then some of them will just be from the best makers of Belgian-inspired beers, whether they're from America or further afield throughout the world. And then about 300 beers in bottle. But like at Church Key, we have 50 drafts, 500 bottles. And it's even what I'm really impressed about my team and I together have been able to do is not just carry a lot of beers, but carry them with great rotation so that they remain as fresh as they need to be. Beers like this, we can lay these down for years. In fact, I have old vintages on our Church Key list right now, going back to like 2008 of this exact beer.
No kidding.
And it matures like wine does. But something like Little Golden Gem, you want that on the list, but it has to sell quickly or else it's not going to last as long. So it's a cool dance that I think we pull off well.
Wow. Greg Eggert from the restaurant group here, neighborhood restaurant group here in Washington, D.C., particularly from Blue Jacket Brewery, and soon to be the Sovereign. We're just getting started here, folks. 99 bottles of beer on the wall. We've got 97 more to go here on the Bill Press Show. 866-55-PRESS, you know our toll-free number. We'll be right back.
Connect with The Bill Press Show on Twitter. Follow us at BP Show and tweet using the hashtag WatchingBP. This is The Bill Press Show.
Hey, friends, a little time out here to talk about Free Speech TV. You know what they say. You've heard me say it before. There's no such thing as a free lunch, and there's no such thing as Free Speech TV either. Well, yes, there is. I mean, it is free to you. And what a deal. What a great deal every day, 24/7. The best progressive programming you can find anywhere, with starting out with our show with Stephanie Miller and Tom Hartman and all the rest, Amy Goodman, and all of that coming out to you with the only progressive TV channel in this country that you can depend on day in and day out to bring you the news of the day and the progressive slant on the news of the day and give you a chance to express your opinions. Yes, all of that is free to you, but of course, you know, it costs to get that out, to get us out to you, for us to join you every day, and that's where we depend on your help. And again, ask for your help at this time of the year. I told you before, and it's true, we just could not do it without you. Free Speech TV gets no government money, no corporate money, no Koch brothers money. We don't charge guests to be on the show. We don't charge anybody to be on the show. We just depend entirely on you. You are part of the team, and the important part of the team that keep us together every single day. So once again, at this time of the year, whether it's your Merry Christmas gift or your Happy Hanukkah gift, or just make a tax-free contribution at the end of the year to lower your taxes kind of gift, whatever your motive. We hope it's just because you love all of us and you love this programming, and when you want to help it keep going. As a little incentive for you to dig in and help us with this December pledge drive, we want to suggest that for $30, you will get a Bill Press Show Eco Journal and pen set. We'll send out to you. For $60, Free Speech TV calendar, pictures of all of your favorite hosts. For $120, 4 Bill Press Show pint glasses. For $240, a special charity to the Women's Bean Project, and you will get that calendar, a soup and a cornbread bundle, and 2 Bill Press Show pint glasses, a nice little package. Plus, part of that $240 will also go to Feeding America Project, the Women's Bean Project. For $360, a beautiful hand-woven Carol Press scarf. You know, I wear one, and so does President Clinton, by the way. And for $1,000, you get yourself to Washington. Carol and I will have a good time. We'll take you out to dinner, one of our favorite restaurants on the Hill, and you can come in the next morning here and meet all of our team. So please, help us as much as you can. Try to make $1,500 every day here on the Bill Press Show. Give us a call at 877-378-8669 and make your pledge, or just go online to freespeech.org, and let's keep this great partnership going. Thank you.
Streaming live video right now at youtube.com/TawkrTV. That's TAWKR-TV. This is The Bill Press Show.
13 minutes before the top of the hour. We're having a good time. Here with Greg Eggert from Blue Jacket Brewery, Church Key, Birch and Barley, and soon to be the Sovereign, the neighborhood restaurant group, sampling some special beers for the holidays here. So again, we started with, we didn't get to Red Eye yet, right? A little Golden Gem, and then went to the Jesus beer, right?
Don't forget that soon.
Yeah, okay, all right. That's pretty strong.
That's a heavy duty beer.
It is.
I like
indeed.
that beer.
Nice smell though. I love that. And what's next?
So next, I think we're going to go something that's probably more classically holiday, which when we think of holiday beers, for better or for worse, they're spiced.
Mm-hmm.
But the best of the holiday beers spice with a gentle hand. I think they integrate the spicing rather than just making it taste like potpourri or something awful, Again, just it's one of the ingredients. It doesn't have to be the overarching. And this is from some great friends of ours down in Richmond, Hardywood Park Craft Brewery. If you haven't gone to see these guys, you should. Richmond's got a booming beer scene and restaurant scene. It's really great down there.
Really? Richmond, Virginia, huh?
Yeah, Richmond,
It's
Virginia.
really, I lived in Richmond probably 12 years ago, and I still go back because I got some friends there. It's completely changed in the last 10 years.
Right, yeah.
It's exploded.
Yeah, it was kind of a ghost town.
Yeah, it really
before.
was. It was
Sleepy.
hard to find a good place to eat and drink down there.
And now it's amazing. And these guys really kind of leading the charge. They make outstanding beers. Hardywood Park is what they're called.
Mm-hmm.
And this is their kind of.
I keep stuff.
I'm never gonna not make him do that.
Yeah, no, just keep it.
I had to tempt him. Yeah. No.
What we're talking about is he will fill Peter's glass all the way to the top.
Oh, come on.
Right. And I just want to sample. Right.
So the
I, unlike Peter, have other things to do today after the show.
That's fine.
That might be true. Yeah. So the gingerbread stout from Hardywood Park. These guys, they brew it every year. It's become one of their cult beers, and it's an imperial sweet stout. So there's a little bit of lactose milk sugar that rounds it out and makes it smooth and creamy on the palate. And then they add in a lot of fresh locally grown ginger to give it this kind of gingerbread character. But it's still a lot of chocolate, roasty, fudgy qualities.
Gingerbread stout.
I've never had this. This is one of the more popular beers. I've never actually had the gingerbread. This is delicious.
Actually, for people who are going to be in town, I think next Wednesday on the 23rd, we're doing a night before Christmas event at Church Key. We'll have this beer, and that's the other thing to what you were talking about before. You never think that we'd make all these beers. So what they do is they make this beer, and we'll have that on draft. But then they age this in bourbon barrels and call it bourbon barrel-aged gingerbread stout. Then they have a version of it that's just this beer with coffee, and they call that Christmas morning. And then the best one we've never had before that we'll have this Wednesday is bourbon barrel aged. Follow this bourbon barrel aged gingerbread stout. So this beer aged in bourbon, then finished with coffee, and that's called Kentucky Christmas morning.
Oh my!
Yeah, that's great. So we'll have all those variants on gingerbread stout on Wednesday.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and luckily most people won't have to work the next day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, I won't. Not after that night.
That's very good.
Isn't
that good, Bill?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
See, all right.
No,
So
it's it really, my heart flitters every time I come in here with you. It's nothing better than him saying he likes these beers from me.
I'm telling you, man.
It's awesome.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
It's so good.
No, you could make a convert out of me. I have to tell you. Right. You really could.
Keep after it.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we're going to finish off with a beer that...
You want to find out more about these, you can go to Blue Jacket DC, bluejacketdc.com, and eat your heart out if you're not in Washington, D.C. area, or find something like this near where you live.
You know what I do is, especially around holidays when we have people come into town, is the bottle shop that you guys have now.
Yeah.
Is just go by and just pick up a couple of bottles of these beers just to have in the house for company. It's really great.
Bottles.
It's really great.
Yeah.
And actually, speaking of the bottle shop, this beer that I'm pouring right now for us is called Red Eye. This is a beer we've never released before. We're actually releasing it for the first time this Saturday afternoon, starting at noon at the bottle shop. So we've started to do these bottle releases. It's fun, small batches. People come in and clean us out of the bottles. But we've also got a bunch of these cool holiday packs. So I think what we do best is variety. And so we have, a 4-pack with different barrel-aged beers, 4 different sour fruited beers. We have a 6-pack of the classic beers that we make. So we have all of those available. But this weekend we're releasing Red Eye for the very first time. And this is a thick, intense, this is for Peter.
Look at that.
Imperial stout that has been aged for just about a year in a very specific and very special whiskey barrel. It's a whiskey barrel from Willett in Kentucky.
Oh, nice.
And that barrel held Willett whiskey for 21 years. Now, Willett just started, but the thing here is, Willett just started again distilling in 2012. So before that, they were buying other people's liquid, aging it and blending it. And so this particular barrel held something called Stitzel Weller.
Oh my God!
Bourbon, which is the same whiskeys that are used to blend for Pappy Van Winkle.
Yeah.
So this has
Stitzel Weller is amazing.
Yeah. So this has a little
Holy
relation.
cow!
Wow.
Oh man, that's good. Holy cow!
It's intense.
That's really, really delicious.
It brings a lot of great whiskey qualities into it. A lot of barrel richness on the palate.
Whoops,
but
we have to get John Yarmouth in. From Kentucky.
Congressman Yarmouth.
He's head of the bourbon caucus of the Congress.
Oh, I'd love to meet him.
We get him in and bring some of these ones.
Oh, dude,
aged
love
whiskey
that beer.
barrels.
That'd be fun. Yeah, totally.
I have to, Greg. This is so great. Thank you for coming in.
My pleasure.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Happy
Christmas.
holidays. The first one is still my favorite, just because I like a lighter beer. This is so.
These
good.
are all so good, man.
I'll find a few more bottles for you.
All right. Have a great holiday season, and congratulations on the Sovereign.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. Wrap things up.
Follow us on Twitter @BP Show. This is The Bill Press Show.
Hey, friends, a little time out here to talk about Free Speech TV. You know what they say. You've heard me say it before. There's no such thing as a free lunch. And there's no such thing as Free Speech TV either. Well, yes, there is. I mean, it is free to you. And what a deal. What a great deal every day, 24/7. The best progressive programming you can find anywhere, with starting out with our show and Stephanie Miller and Tom Hartman and all the rest, Amy Goodman. And all of that coming out to you with the only progressive TV channel in this country that you can depend on day in and day out to bring you the news of the day and the progressive slant on the news of the day and give you a chance to express your opinions. Yes, all of that is free to you, but of course, it costs to get that out, to get us out to you, for us to join you every day, and that's where we depend on your help. And again, ask for your help at this time of the year. I told you before, and it's true, we just could not do it without you. Free Speech TV gets no government money, no corporate money, no Koch brothers money. We don't charge guests to be on the show. We don't charge anybody to be on the show. We just depend entirely on you. You are part of the team, and the important part of the team that keep us together every single day. So once again, at this time of the year, whether it's your Merry Christmas gift or your Happy Hanukkah gift, or just, make a tax-free contribution at the end of the year to lower your taxes kind of gift, whatever your motive, we hope it's just because you love all of us and you love this programming, and when you want to help it keep going. As a little incentive for you to dig in and help us with this December pledge drive, we want to suggest that for $30, you will get a Bill Press Show Eco Journal and pen set. We'll send out to you. For $60, Free Speech TV calendar, pictures of all of your favorite hosts. For $120, 4 Bill Press Show pint glasses. For $240, a special charity to the Women's Bean Project, and you will get that calendar, a soup and a cornbread bundle, and 2 Bill Press Show pint glasses, a nice little package. Plus, part of that $240 will also go to Feeding America Project, the Women's Bean Project. For $360, a beautiful hand-woven Carol Press scarf. You know, I wear one, and so does President Clinton, by the way. And for $1,000, you get yourself to Washington. Carol and I will have a good time. We'll take you out to dinner. One of our favorite restaurants on the Hill, and you can come in the next morning here and meet all of our team. So please, help us as much as you can. Try to make $1,500 every day here on the Bill Press Show. Give us a call at 877-378-8669 and make your pledge, or just go online to freespeech.org, and let's keep this great partnership going. Thank you.
The Parting Shot with Bill Press. This is The Bill Press Show.
You know what they say, be careful what you ask for because you might get it. Well, that's turned out to be true in the Republican primaries. A lot of Republicans and Democrats were saying, if only somebody would climb ahead of Donald Trump. Well, now it looks like somebody has, and that person is none other than Ted Cruz. But it turns out he's a lot worse than Donald Trump. In this week's debate, for example, Trump lamented the fact that we've spent $4 trillion fighting wars in Afghanistan. If only we had spent that money back here at home, said Donald Trump, rebuilding our highways and bridges and schools and hospitals. You never hear Ted Cruz say anything like that. I mean, Trump sounded almost like a Democrat. Same with improving relations with Cuba. Trump is for it. Ted Cruz is totally against it. Let me tell you something. If Republicans do ever get stuck with Ted Cruz, they may wish they had Donald Trump back again. That's my parting shot for today. Peter Ogburn in as a friend of Bill tomorrow.
This is the Bill Press Show.